Hey, folks, and welcome. So glad that you're able to join us as we go back into this kind of crazy battle set that we were in, and I actually did do a quick thing. So to get the messages off the screen, but anyway, welcome to the channel. We run the channel 100% for charity. If you'd like to donate to Satchel's Last Resort, which is who we support, which is a rescue for animals here in Florida, down in Sarasota, you can click on the link down below, and 100% goes to them because that takes you right to their site, and you can donate right there. We're here to have fun, play some D&D, tell some stories, and apparently have some combat and not get washed off the boat. So, without further ado, let's introduce our characters and who they are playing, or our players and who their characters are. We will start off with Kuma.
Hey guys, I'm Kuma, and I am playing Kato, a life priest, or a life cleric. Words are hard.
Next up, we have Grant.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Grant. I'm doing some roles through.
Check your Zoom thing. Your audio is doing that weird thing again. To click on the don't auto adjust. Yeah. Next up is Bird.
Hey folks, I am Bird. I am fighting technical elements and fighting elemental things in this game. I'm playing Baldir the Wanderer, a Loxodon Storm Sorcerer. And
next up, we have Ace of Swede.
Yeah, I am Ace. I am playing Duron, the Sapphire Dragonborn Fathoms Warlock.
Next up, we have Meta.
Hi, I'm Metazoa. I'll be playing as Queta, the Eldritch Knight Fighter.
Sweet. And last but not least, Soul.
Hi, I'm Soul. I'm going to be playing Otrek, our lizard folk walking sausage artificer.
And I'm Tall Squall. I'll be your DM for today, and controlling all sorts of critters and NPCs and other things. But one thing we are going to chat about before we get started is last time I was controlling a whole bunch of NPCs, and wow, it gets crazy. So I was thinking about it over the week of what's a cool way to handle the fact that there's a crew to this ship. And so I was like, well, wait a second. You know, it's your ship. You kind of have home field advantage. We could call it your lair. And so what we're going to be doing is that the Whale's Whiskers has lair actions, which you guys get to help control. So I'm going to bring up you should see a new handout that's going to pop up in your handouts, which is all about the lair actions. And so the main sort of lair action that you're able to do is two NPCs are able to come up on deck and take their combat actions. So you all can sort of decide what you all need at the time. You've got our fun barbarian. We've got our here, let me make this big enough so the people in the stream can actually read it. We've got our barbarian. I've sort of, I didn't put everything in there. You all actually can see the sheets now over there in D&D Beyond. But basically, you have a barbarian. Reckless attacks. For melee, he's got rage, no charms, no fears. You've got a monk who has 6 key points, who can do all the fun things that monks can do. If you want to send them up, you've got Lars, who is your guy who can shoot the ballistas. He's also an arcane archer, and he's got a banish arrow and burst arrows, so sort of mini fireballs. As a fighter, he's got action surge. He's also 2 levels of paladin, so he's got a smite and has lay on hands and things like that. So sort of your all-purpose rangy dude. We're going to include Ollie, who is our first officer, our celestial good boy dog. And there's a couple things you didn't know about. You actually now have his character sheet you can see as well. He first thing, can fly. He's got a whole lot of mobility. He can fly 60. He's got 60 feet fly speed. He is able to go grab someone and can carry one person if they either fall off the ship in the air or fall off the ship at sea. So he is your lifeguard. He has 2 normal sort of melee bite attacks. He also has a healing lick, so he can go and lick someone and get them up. It's not a huge heal, but I think it's like 2d6 or 2d8. I mean, it'll get you up. And the other big thing, he does have an AoE bark attack, so like a breath weapon that he can use against things. You have a ranger, which basically is for a lot of single target. He can basically hunter's mark and use his monster hunter ability to do that. And the big thing he's got is hunter sense. He can sense immunities, resistances, immunities, and vulnerabilities. So you can bring him up to take that action as well to give you some insight. And then what we're going to do with the ballistas, it's a little different than what we had last week, which if 2 people on it use a bonus action, it just was getting confusing and weird in my head as well. Basically, you get a free reload of 1 ballista each round, no matter what. If for some reason you're wanting to use more than 1 ballista, that you've got enemies on 2 sides or to the front and to the side, you then have to use one of those NPC actions to reload it, or else it can only fire every other turn type idea. So that's that. The other thing you can do is ship's maneuvers, which doesn't do a whole lot up here, but certainly at sea can mean a lot. You can do double speed, turn 90 degrees to get your ballistas pointed the way you want them pointed, or you can do a ram attack against anything that is huge or larger in size, which does do 4d10 plus 10 damage, but also does 2d12 damage to the bow of your ship. So you can only ram a couple times before you're going to be in trouble. So anyway, I hope y'all find that exciting. I thought it was kind of cool thinking about that y'all have a lair, and you have lair actions that you can play around with. And so that is how we're going to handle the crew. I'm going to go ahead and add them to the lineup. It's going to be called Whales Whiskers Lair.
That's such a clever way to fix that.
And it is going to happen on 20. So I'm not going to resort these. Actually, I am going to resort these so that, and we'll just come back around to the Fullamar. So,
he doesn't have to go.
I'm pretty sure
he's
he
actually
already went.
So yeah, we are on Halran, who is our next up to go. Folks out there watching the stream, let me know about the audio level of the music. It is battle music, so it is kind of loud. If it is overpowering us in any way, or if it is good, let me know. And with that, just to go over where we are in the lair action thing right now. What I've done, because you've had 3 of your people already knocked out, I just took the 4th person downstairs. So currently, we're acting as though Lars shooting the ballista and Ollie up fighting that worm were your lair action for this round. If you do swap someone out, you can only have 2 up at a time. You basically assume that person took the disengage action, so there's not opportunity attacks and all that sort of stuff for the next person to come out and do whatever they want to do. Clear as mud? We're going to give it a try. We're going to do it live. Woo! And
Let's do it.
So, Halran, Grant.
So first of all, is the audio working better?
Yes, like 1,000 times.
Very
better.
good. I'll make sure to make a note to just do that at the start from now on.
Yeah, sometimes it resets every time. In fact, you know what? I didn't check mine. Bird, is my audio doing the right things or wrong things? Cool.
You're sounding good to me, at least.
Cool.
And then secondly, I think this is an elegant solution, the lair actions thing. So yeah, well done. That's very clever. And then, to jump into the combat, Halran, until moments ago, after a couple of healing spells were dropped, had been actually knocked onto his back on the deck, blown almost to pieces by the fiery attack of one of these many creatures circling the ship. So Baldir ran over to try to, I think he said, shield Halran with his bulk. And so as Baldir comes to help, Halran will stand up, probably using and what I assume is an offered hand from his friend Baldir. And seeing this huge new leopard creature just maybe 10 or 15 feet away, he'll grab the crystal amulet around his neck and activate the power of his the blood magic of his ancestors to use his final and enhanced wild shape and transform into a Spinosaurus.
Oh, good lord. So we said... So, okie dokie. Let's You should be able to pull that out onto the deck. If you can't, I can pull it out for you.
Let me click it. Oh, there we go.
Did do its thing.
I'm just gonna do Valorant's token like way over here if that works.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we'll just take a Halloran's token, and I am going to throw him down on the GM layer so he disappears from your sight.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Perfect. So, you turn into a Dinosaurus. Now, he is a huge thing, and he is a land creature, and so he does add weight to the ship as this happens, and the whole ship sort of lurches downward as this new, the weight of Lord, whatever, 10, 15 people, as you are a huge creature, 15 feet by 15 feet dinosaur roars into life in the middle of the ship. I've just got to do at least a little bit of a thing because I just love I love doing things. I'm going to roll a d10. Okay, how about rolling a d10 for me? There it was. The first one is the one that counts. 3. And so you sort of, I would think for sure, Queta sort of sees this as like, wow. And you notice all of the rigging stretch a little bit further and more tautly as this sort of unexpected additional added weight is mad. It's only 3 hit points of damage off of your rigging, but you have some rigging that is already a little bit damaged from some breath weapons. So that it's a thing. But yeah, you have a Spinosaurus, and holy cow, is he a nasty foe. This huge Tyrannosaurus Rex looking thing. Bird will recognize this as something that they rode in our last campaign.
Awesome. And that is my action, so I roar at this new combatant, but that does finish my turn.
Cool. So as I was explaining all that other stuff, you know what? I am not going to put you on the GM's page because I realize that makes it invisible as to what initiative you are on. So let me bring you back. Okay, mechanical stuff out of the way. I'm going to take a moment and do some storytelling because that's what we like. I should have updated before we got things. So, you all were flying over this strange canyon down below there, storm raging, and as you were passing over, all of these creatures come flying up out of them, just attacking the ship, really without any provocation. You can't seem to ascertain. These 4 smaller lizards that you've dispatched, quite a few of them already, out here and still amongst you, but they're fading fast. You then have this larger bird-like creature covered in storm and smoke and fire comes flying up and using its wing attacks all but through Otrek off the ship. Coming in at the last was this 3-headed black dragon screaming with rage that flew over top of the wing, sort of out of your range, came down around to then sort of try to flank you and attack you a little bit from behind. Things are going a little bit crazy out there. And with that, this Anzu, which I claim, and I marked everything down, does not have a breath weapon. Actually, I need to roll to see if he has a breath weapon. Let's see if you got your breath weapon back, buddy. On a 2, does not. This big boy, seeing the hand is what attacked him before, he's going to fly in and attack back this Big B's hand because, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Don't bite the hand that
What's the
smacks
AC
you.
of the Big B's hand? I gotta look that up.
It is going to make 3 attacks. It's going to do a bite attack. Ooh, on a natural 20. Is going to just come diving down into this big hand and with a screech bites into it. I'm assuming, is it just normal hit points there?
Yeah. He's got the same amount of hit points as I do. He got hit last session. He has an AC of 20. Okay.
Okay. So,
Whatever.
Sure.
I don't know what we call this thing.
whatever you want to. Anyway, on a natural 20, he's going to hit regardless. And so just
Yeah.
lets out this screech and comes in with its beak and does first 22 points of piercing damage. And then as it bites down, you see this crackling lightning emerge from out of its beak, doing another 16 points of lightning damage. It then, sort of as it's holding on to the hand with its beak, is going to come up and rake it with both of his talons. So 2 talon attacks. On a 14, the first one's going to miss. On an 18, the second one is going to miss, as it just can't get purchase, but is feeling good about that first bite attack. So
that hurt.
that is it. We then have this next Stormworm that is on its last legs. It needs to roll to see if it gets its breath weapon back. I should just leave this D6 up because, yeah. On a 4, it does not. So it is going to... it's going to go after Biriana. Slides in.
It is also in a net, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
you're right. It is in a net. So it cannot move. It's going to stay right there. And does it get a strength save to try to break out of the net?
It can do I believe it's an athletics check.
Or can it bite through the net? I bet. I'm assuming.
The net rules say a creature can use its action to make a DC 10 strength check.
Okay, I'll
freeing
do that.
itself or another creature.
Cool. So it's going to try to get out. What was it? A DC 10. So yeah, it's able to shrug off this net, but I'm assuming that it takes its action to do so. So
yeah, it takes its action. So the net kind of is just like
sort of falls to the ground. You see it sort of struggling under there, like writhing like this crazy golden eel underneath of it, and then finally is able to wiggle its way out. And that's its turn. The next one down here in Ollie's jaws, on its last legs, it's going to do all it can. Ooh, or is it? Or is it? Ooh, stand by. I just need to check a thing. Ooh. Yeah. How smart is he? Oh, he's smart. Yeah. So, you see it sort of writhing in there, and its eyes start to glow beneath its sort of, as it's in its last sort of writhing attempt to get away from this crazy dog creature that is like all up in its business. And it looks over to the center of the deck, and sort of its eyes light up and flash with this sort of magical arcane light. It is casting a spell, for those of you who might have abilities to recognize spells. Are you in range? 30 feet, yeah?
What's it casting?
You don't know what it's casting, but you know it's casting something.
Do I have counterspell? I do not.
Don't worry. I'll jump on it.
Are you in 30 feet? I don't think you're 30 feet. You're 50 feet away.
You're right.
Isn't it counterspell's 30, right? Or is it 60?
Actually,
60.
It's 60.
It's 60?
It's 60.
Well, yep, you're in there. You can use your reaction.
So once again, I believe I asked no thank you to this in general.
Just like, I've had enough.
Yeah. So, and it's very telling, because that Baldir was able to sense this spell going off, because you see it look over at you, and you start to see this roiling ball of dense fog starting to form right there around the Spinosaurus and all these other creatures, as it was attempting to cast Fog Cloud. And it's a level 1 spell, so blink. As you look at it, sort of your storm senses as a storm sorcerer, just like, no thank you, and dissipates, and that's his 1 per day that he doesn't get to do nothing now. And with that, it's Baldier's turn.
Normally, I would like to excuse the violence and believe the best of people, but I've asked twice, so now I must once again put my foot down on this and ask that you just leave. And because all of my stuff is mostly storm and lightning based, and these folks are lightning, I'm just gonna go back to an old classic and cast Magic Missile.
Hey.
Just try to knock these suckers out.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, dude, and you can see, you should have the bars. Bars are visible to everyone just without numbers.
I know they're pretty small. I think I'm gonna cast at a second level to send a D4, 2 D4s to each.
Okay.
2d4 plus 1s.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So I will roll that and see how it goes here. Oop, that is not built. So, do I need to do this? Sorry, I'm just not used to doing any of this kind of thing. Do I roll multiple times for this, or?
Depends on how you want to do it.
So it looks like, I think you rolled for each missile, because what it rolled right there was just a...
Okay. So, so it's 4, it's gonna be 4 total, it's gonna be 2 at each, so...
Yeah. So I assume you're at the 2 small guys?
Yes.
Describe to me how these missiles fly out of Baldir and finish these last of these storm worms off.
It's basically just streaks of lightning begin to form like down his arm before like gathering like in his hands, and he crushes them, and it's essentially just 4 small cracks of thunder, poof, 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 that like channels itself and sends out in its ways, and just I want to say just sandwiches these suckers, just like smushes them together from the sides.
It's almost like this inverse gravity, as they are sort of like these long eels, and they almost, if you've ever seen a ball python, just sort of curl up into like this ball and are just crushed within themselves by this force damage, this sort of inverse thunderous concussion that emanates from Baldir.
And then he is going to wander himself just a little bit this way, potentially behind this mast here, a little bit closer to Kato. And actually, before my turn's up, if it's cool, if it's still within the time period,
absolutely.
Here, I do want to ask Kato, friend Kato, is there still any hope or belief of a peaceful reconciliation with these creatures? Should you be able to speak with them?
So it appears that I am actually capable of speaking animal. Currently, I will be doing so for about the next 9 minutes and 40 seconds or so, and unfortunately nothing seems to be understanding me. It seemed the great bird had an interest, but not necessarily enough to cease its actions. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that more aggressive manners might need to be taken.
Never had to say no thank you thrice, but these are desperate times. Thank you, friend, for the information. And Baldir does look a little concerned about the state of things right now. So
okay. So next up is this Azidakra, this 3-headed dragon, sort of black. Unlike any dragon any of you all have seen, it's almost got sort of a slimy eel-like coating. Think of sort of like a 3-headed dragonoid electric eel, sort of oozing with this sort of slimy coating that has this sort of electrical current running down through it. One of the things that certainly Baldir would notice, Quato would notice, Biriana notices as well. These 3 heads, and while Baldir was casting his spells, he lifts up his staff, which to cast out these spells. You watch as these 3 heads literally focus on that staff, which is sort of coursing with lightning and thunder. And then even as Baldir moves away, you see them sort of follow where that staff is going, just fixated on this magical source of storm energy. On that note, it's going to move down this way. It comes flying down in here. However, it really can't get by with all these people in here. I mean, it's just too much to try to play that game. So it's got lots of attacks. So it's going to do its thing. It's going to snuggle up right here next to our new contender. Hey, just Halrain, because you did a big old challenging roar. Do me a intimidation check. You have advantage on this because you're a dinosaur. On a 13, it's not hard to be intimidating when you're the size of a dinosaur, and also you're in its way. So it looks at you and it is going to make bite attacks. These 3 heads come striking out at you, and its claws start to raid you. This is... Sorry, buddy. What is your armor class as a Spinosaurus?
14.
14. 19 is going to hit, so the first head reaches out and does 14 piercing damage as it takes a bite into you. The second head, on a 14, just barely is able to run there and sort of grabs onto your neck, sinking in these teeth. And you notice as it comes in to bite you, these long fangs, almost like a serpent's fangs, sort of stick out and start sinking into you with these bites. On the next bite, on a 29, it's going to do another 6 piercing damage. And as it's focusing its head there, it reaches out with its claws. Yes, it gets 5 attacks per turn and does a rake, 1 on Biriana and 1 on Lars. On the claw attack on Biriana is a 26. That's going to hit. So she takes 16 slashing damage. And on Lars, a 13. Ooh, I don't think a 13 hits Lars. Stand by. I think Lars, as our resident...
That'd be great.
Lars, my boy, with an 18. Yeah, no. And ting off of his paladin armor. But, I mean, this black eel-like creature, you weren't quite prepared for just how many different ways it was reaching out and attacking basically on 3 sides all simultaneously in its turn. That's all it can do, thankfully. And next up, Duron.
That's enough. It could do enough.
Let that
All
boy
right. Duron's gonna kind of shift over to the left a little bit, and he's going to shout out to everyone, "Finish off the bird!" And he's going to cast 2 Eldritch Blasts at the dragon thing, which is... oh, that's not great. That's a 15.
A 15. Believe it or not, it's a big old sack of hit points. A 15 hits.
Nice. So that is 9 damage, and then he gets knocked back 10 feet, and then another one for if a 15 hit, then whatever this is hits. That's a 22.
Does each one knock him 10 feet, or is it 10 feet total?
It's each one is 10 feet, so it'll be 20 back.
Okay, so
in a line from Duron.
And since he's not moving on his own, I'm assuming it's the normal thing where it's. I'm gonna say there's the first 10 feet, and then the next one does how much damage?
That's 13 damage. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to move the watery dragon claw right up to it and use interposing hand. So unless its strength modifier is bigger than a 26, it cannot move any closer to us. And the hand will move with the dragon to stop its approach.
So there's not a save on it?
There is no save.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And that's my turn.
Cool. So lair action. What do y'all want to do with your lair action? We've got Lars out here. He has got the ballista, certainly is in good firing range, but if you want to swap him out for some melee for the Fulmar, you certainly can. We've got Ollie, who's out there. He currently has this sort of dead stormworm in its mouth. He's still carrying it, knowing that Kato likes to examine such things to retrieve it back for Kato. But if y'all want to swap people out or have them do their thing, it is up to you. We can discuss however you want.
I think we need Ollie still out here as our lifeguard.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, good call.
Also, Lars is really well set up by Duron's push.
Yeah.
That is just such a good setup. I think we
Sure.
should roll with what we got.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Do you guys want Ollie to do the healing lick to Otrek? Because I can see Otrek is kind of
Yeah,
By
he's
himself.
low. He's right there. It makes sense.
Cool. So yeah,
He's dropped the snake corpse on the deck too.
so yeah.
I mean, I've got a bucket of hit points, but I do like heals.
yeah.
So Ollie can swing on over and do his healing lick. He does
His
only
little
get
healing kisses.
Yeah, his little healing kisses. He just letting you know he does. He only gets 4 of those per day, but it's 4 a day. And so does it automatically do the thing? It doesn't do the thing. But and the good thing, it also removes charmed, frightened, and poisoned conditions. So it is a nice little thing to have. Let's roll that up. It is 2d8 plus 1. $2d8 plus 1, so you get 10 hit points back and would remove any of those conditions from you had you had them. So he does his healing lick. I will actually say, just for story reasons, he does that and then goes over and delivers a present. I'm not going to bother worrying about the token, but delivers at your feet, Kato, the corpse of this worm. It's interesting. Immediately, in your medical study of animals, you see on the side of this worm's form these 2 sort of puncture marks where it seems to have this sort of black corruption and sort of that eel-like oozy substance that seems to have infected this. Certainly not from bite marks that Ollie did, that it has been corrupted in some way.
It's gotta be our ugly friend. Maybe.
Cool. So with Lars out, question, he can do his ballista. He has twice per day. He can actually try to banish this thing. If we wanted to, he could use a banishing shot on the ballista. Or do you want to keep this thing? Do you want to really, whether you want to concentrate on a bird and see if you can banish the schmo?
That's what I was thinking. Can we banish the Anzu? I think that's
It's only for 1 turn. It is not a real banish. It banishes it for 1 round to the end of the next lair action. But it means he's not. Actually, he's already gone, but he won't get his next turn.
I do have ideas on keeping the Anzu at bay, so I think we can keep him focused on preferably the Fulminar from my point of view, but if you want to do the Ozzy Dahaka as well.
Yeah, he's got the Fulmer right there behind him as well. And he does have a glaive where he can do a melee attack and do a smite. He is a Smitedin. He's only level 1 smite, so it's not a whole lot, but it's something.
Glaive and Smite sounds good to me.
Yeah, thoughts? Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Glaive and Smite.
Because
He
the
only
bird's
has,
pushed away, or the dragon.
I'm a fan of Smite. Smite's
okay,
Smite's
he's
my
going to
jam.
try to smite against our buddy, the Fulmer, who has a 15 armor class. Let's see how he does. Ooh, on a 7. Unfortunately, on that natural one, he goes to swing around, and this panther-like creature that is made of half lightning, half smoke, half storm, just sort of as he swings through, just right through and whiffs. That is his turn, unless you can action surge now, or you might want to save it for later. It's your call.
Save it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing that he will say as he turns his attention away from the Azardaka being a paladin, he looks at it and goes, "Devil spawn. Not of this world. It is a corrupted creature." And it's Kato's turn.
Kato is going to look at the little creature that was dropped at his feet and see the punctures. He's going to look at the big cat. Does the cat have a similar wound that he can see from this distance?
From where you are, you've got a dinosaur, a dragonborn, and some masts in your way. You would have to get a better look. I would say you would have to kind of maneuver yourself elsewhere. But you could definitely get a better look. But I would not from where you are now. There's just a lot between you and it.
I'm going to move 1, 2, 3.
Yep, I'd say from there you could get a good look. I am going to make you do a roll, but I'm going to say it's just a bonus action because you are the trained eye in this.
Okay.
So it would be a perception because you're not right up there on investigating.
Okay. Perception roll coming at you.
Normally this would probably be at disadvantage because of its form, but because you're trained, I'm going to say it cancels out. 17. That works. You look around it and you are able to see as Lars is swinging through and it sort of dodges out of the way. You can see almost like sort of in the back of its like nape of the back of its neck, sort of like where you would lift a dog or a cat sort of by the scruff.
The scruff.
You can see there are some of these bite marks, and you can see the corruption almost seems being spread around this creature through the lightning.
Okay. Kato's gonna see this and just kind of visibly sour, and he'll lift his hands and kind of raise his voice. Friends, I do believe that our three-headed slick friend off the side of the boat is to blame for all of this thus far. In our pursuit of knowledge, I would prefer if we could take care of this monstrosity first, for it is the one causing the other beasts so much pain. And his hands are going to glow as he begins to cast Guardian of Faith.
Woo!
And he is going to pop that sucker right here.
I forgot to make you a summon for that. I'm sorry.
It is okay. We can just put wherever, or we can just make a note. Or I can make a little drawing.
I can. I should be able to have something that looks like an angel. What's it look like? Actually, first, it can look like an animal. Can look like anything you want it to look like. It's just what I'm going to put in the search term for the art I own.
It is going to look like the Anzu, but instead of the bright, vibrant colors, it's going to be dark grays, like stone and gravel, and the tips of each wing, or the tips of each feather on the wings, are going to glow with a bright gold, kind of to mirror some of the colors from the stone chalice.
So where do you want it to be? I'm sorry.
We're gonna pop that guy right here.
Sweet. So yeah, there. We'll use the actual art.
Perfect.
I'm assuming it's a medium creature.
It does a large
creature.
Guardian.
Dude, look at that. Twink. He's a little wonky because of the scale, but whatever.
It is all good. Please, cool. Guardian, look upon these beasts around us and my teammates. In our pursuit of knowledge, we have come across something that is corrupting that which is pure. In order for us to learn more about this world and those that inhabit it, we must save those that are here. And he will look at the cat over to his right with fear and realize he can't move anywhere, and that's his turn.
You should have. You only took. You moved 30 feet, right?
I thought you mentioned it was my. I can only move 15.
Oh, you're tied off, right?
I am tied.
Nice, good move. Thanks for remembering. So Biriana hears your speech, and being concerned in the same way about everyone else with lightning, she pulls out her Stormerang because it has options. And so you see her pull out of her pouch this boomerang, and as she pulls it out, it just crackles with lightning. And again, you see all these heads of the Azadakra look at it intently. And as she looks at it, she sort of says a word into it, and you see the lightning disappear, and you see sort of these like thunder clouds begin to form around it. And she is going to make some attacks with her Stormerang. On a 23, that's going to hit, and she is going to have it do a. You see it do 10. Sorry, let me catch up with the things I'm doing. Do your things in order. It does 10 damage as it gets smacked by the this, and my buddy here's got to make himself a Constitution saving throw, because we love those. Constitution saving throw on my Azadakra. Con save 17. Let's see. He's got bonuses. Oh shit, and he's got magic resistance. So this is a spell and a magical effect. So damn it. So he's got advantage. We'll see what happens. Well, the first one is a natural 1, and the second one is a 12. Oh damn. Okay.
Love to see it.
So, as Biriana's thing reads, let's see if I can make it. Can I make it display in VTT? There you go. On the thunder damage, you see it becomes stunned. As it fails its saving throw, it just becomes frozen in the sky and begins to plummet. So, yeah. Bonus action.
That rocks.
Let's see. Who's up next? Who's got cool stuff and's going to need help? You know what? I'm giving the Spinosaurus some advantage.
Nice.
She looks at Halloran, and she's like, "So now you've decided to join the fight," and throws you a inspiration. That's a D10 when you need it. Worm dead. Otrek, he's our man. He's our sausage. Nobody can. I don't know.
Yep. I am full of meat. All right. Let me check one thing real quick. I need to check the range on something. All right. Draw a couple lines here. All right. We are in dangerous territory. Otrek calls out, "Queda, will the rigging hold?"
Queda will look around her and see that most of the front rigging is the one that's taken the brunt of the damage. She'll probably say, it's looking like for the time being.
All right, I'm
What
gonna
are
move
you doing?
I'm gonna move to here, rush by Queda and say, "Don't worry about it." And we're going to enlarge the Spinosaurus.
Ooh, okay.
It's a spell. I can do that.
Oh, absolutely. And it takes up one size, correct?
It goes up one size.
I am going to roll another 2d10 for the rigging.
You are justified in doing that.
So, and I think things get pushed out of the way if they are in its space, right?
They do.
So I'm just going to, for ease, because, yeah, it's going to go this way. I'm going to say it grows this way. It grows towards you.
Can you make?
Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no, so he's scaled up now, and yeah, I'm rolling 2d10, because...
Scaled.
And you hear another, just sort of like, the most giant draconic, what the fuck, man?
Are you kidding me?
From above you. So 9 more points of damage to the rigging.
Queda can hear the enlarge happen, and she's just gonna try and like force herself not to look, and just like pay close attention to the rigging.
I would say,
Unless
you
it
know,
shudders.
your trained eye, you're getting close to about 30% of the front rigging left.
As my bonus action, I'm going to command Scott to move to the forward,
Just ping it.
that'd be starboard side. I'm going to move him to here. And we're going to activate...
Yes, I love that. That's one of the cool things. I saw that he had it.
yeah, I've got repair.
Yeah.
So that's 2d8 plus... yeah, there you go.
So it actually is. It is one of the magical repair effects. He can repair himself or a other construct. So
Go, Scott.
he adds back 13 hit points. Whoops. Of things. So the front starboard is now back above 50%.
All right. And let me just double check that there's nothing else I can do because I've got a bunch of levers to pull here.
No problem.
I think... yeah, we're good here. That's all.
I believe you get an extra 1d4 to all your attacks, Grant, because you are now
On
one
damage.
size largest. So
On
all
damage.
your damage is 1d4 more. Yeah, you all have had some
And-
big, strange creatures on board. I won't say this is the biggest or the strangest, but damn, in the air under a dragon with a dinosaur, sure, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fine. Anything else you've got going on, Otrek?
I just want to say, because Grant might need to know it for enlarge, you get the D4, but you also get advantage on all strength checks. I don't know what your strength is right now, but you get advantage on it.
Whew.
Thank you. It's 23, so.
Nice. So, Queta, you see Scott go over there and start sort of this, while you're mending or manually doing stuff, isn't able to do this, but this sort of magically induced construct of souls. And I'd say y'all are familiar enough with each other that you've seen Scott do some repairs, like in mid-show when things have gone completely wrong. Scott has come to the rescue before with these in 6 seconds, doing, the Data-esque, super fast repair type things. So, but yeah, you are, it's your go. What do you want to do?
Okay. Queta seeing that will kind of breathe a little sigh of relief and turn her attention back toward the Anzu. Just for my own clarification, what size is it?
It is large.
Wonderful. Okay. So Queta is going to, Meta is going to actually click on the clicking tool so he can move Queta.
There you go.
And she is going to move out toward the edge,
Okay.
rifle through her stuff, and pull out her second net.
Okay.
And she is going to cast True Strike to
Give advantage.
give advantage to cancel out the disadvantage.
Sweet.
And she is going to use her bonus action with that thing, War Magic.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. To throw a net.
Do it.
Please, Godler.
Do it.
That's a 25.
Nice. So yeah, no, you throw it. That definitely hits. And so our boy is our big bird friend is restrained with a net. Doink. Look, I can even put a little net on it. They are restrained out there. They are still in the air, flap because if it hits, it hits. They are still there flapping, so they don't go plummeting down below. Again, is as big as this net could possibly be, but it is unable to move. It's doing everything it can to just sort of stay hovering in flight.
Fantastic. If I action surge, would I be able to cast like a level spell? Because I cast a cantrip.
To me, action surge is a clear slate. You can do whatever you want if you action surge. I know that's not necessarily raw, but to me, if you're spending a once per long rest thing, you get a whole another turn.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna action surge, and let me just click that. And Queta is going to cast Gust of Wind. toward the Anzu.
Sweet.
So it is I'm gonna see. There's like a way to click it into the thing, right?
Yeah, you should be able to go to your spell sheet and click on it, and it'll pop in.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wait. Nope. It did not show. Why?
If you do the little, looks like a cartoon bubble, that will send the spell. The other does the roll.
Oh.
So if you sort of, there you go. And so what do I got to do? I got to do some sort of a line. Strength saving throw. I'm going to say since it's underneath of this net, it has disadvantage on the strength saving throw because that makes sense.
Yeah, but that'll be at like the start of its turn. So we'll have this line going. I guess we'll say this direction right
okay.
now.
Got you. It's not right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Perfect. So at the beginning of its turn.
Yeah. So, and then just for her own safety, Queta is going to take a few steps back from the edge of the boat, more toward the center here.
Okay.
All right. And I think Queta will just continue keeping an eye on the rigging while focusing on this gust of wind toward the to keep the Anzu at bay. And that will be her turn.
Sorry, I just got to read a thing. Okay. So next up is the Fulmer's turn. It is being compelled to do things, so it is going to do things that it's compelled to do.
Is it scared?
It is not scared at all.
It should be.
So it, you see, it look out towards this giant Spinosaurus, and then also towards, because in its line of sight, towards Kato and towards Duron, because of one, it's smart too. No, it's not that smart. It's still there. No, I gotta be. It would go after the bird. So it's going to go after Duron, the Angelic Guardian, and the thing. If it had intelligence above 10, I would have said it would have figured out that Kato would cast the bird, but it's not that smart. You see it, sort of this whirling, sort of its lower half, sort of this whirling cyclone of storm and lightning and energy, and from it you see shooting out 3 beams of lightning heading towards those 3 targets. I need Duron, the Spinosaurus, and the Angel, the Angelic Guardian, to make me dexterity saving throws.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest. I don't know if it has a save.
Because does it have hit points or anything, or is it just sort of a spectral form?
It's a conjuration.
I think it has hit points.
But does it? I don't know if it has a stat sheet though.
No, the attack save is a dex 16 to pass it, but like, I don't think it.
It's a side question.
Has
Is this counterable or no?
I'm thinking. Well, tell you what. I'm going to say again with a intelligence as low as it doesn't know that, so it could be that it flies right through that. It's going to know better for next time.
Right.
You see the lightning just sort of shoots through this conjured bird, but the other 2 of you, I need those dex saves.
The 3 in there is mine. I rolled without a bonus because I have this Spinosaurus stat.
You should be able to see the Spinosaurus stats. Are they not in your?
No, I see them. I'm saying I didn't use my D20 because the dex is different. So yeah, the 3 is.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, so 3 plus what's its bonus for dex?
It's a 0. So,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha. 3. Okay, yeah. And how about for Duron?
That's a 21 for Duron.
Okay.
Get it, boy!
Yeah, on a 21, you see Duron, this lightning bolt sort of goes shooting by you. You sort of juke to one side, it slides back you, and it sort of recoils back into it. However, the Spinosaurus, being a very large target, you see this lightning shoot up out of the Fulmar and wrap itself up around the Spinosaurus's neck. And let's see, D8s. Need 4 of them.
Wait, I don't take any damage?
I gotta finish reading. And so the Spinosaurus takes 25 points of damage. Yep, so you take half of that. So you would take 12 points of lightning damage as you just get out of the way. But the big thing is, what doesn't happen is it doesn't wrap around your neck like it does around the around Grant, who is currently restrained for 1 minute.
And that's a natural 20 on my Constitution saving throw, my concentration check.
Gotcha. So you are suffering from the restrained condition. If you need to look up what all that means, you can look under the compendium. I always have to remind myself as well. In fact, I'm going to pull it up so I can say it, because I always have to do it. So restrained. Yeah, restrained condition. You can't move. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on your next dexterity saving throw, which you can do at the end of your turn to try to break out of this lightning shackle that is around your neck. But the good news is that's all it can do, as that was its breath weapon. But isn't that enough? And yep, that's it. That's all it does. Halran, Mr. Spinosaurus, you are next. You are entrapped by this lightning, but you're also Spinosaurus. So,
yeah. So Halran did hear Kato's comment about the three-headed dragon being sort of the driving malevolence here, but given the lightning restraint and the fact that the dragon is being kept at bay by both this hand and the Celestial Guardian, he sees no choice but to turn and lay into the Fulminar. So I'll make 2 claw attacks and then a bite attack. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, they are at disadvantage because of the lightning shackles, but go for
Right. And I'm just gonna click D20s. I think these have a +6, but I don't think I can click the attacks on the roll 20 thing.
So if you go to your, while we're doing it, if you go ahead, you should be able to click on the Spinosaurus.
I've got the Spinosaurus thing put up as a pop out. Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's not letting you get to the sheet, and that could just be my fault.
Oh no, there we go. Never mind, we got it.
There you go. Cool. The 15, it still hits, so it takes 15 points of slashing damage. 15, and then you remind me that's at least one more D4. The 25 is going to hit, so it takes another minus 14 slashing damage. And then does that, how many multi-attacks does it have? Just 2? Or does it have
I have
two?
the bite too, so we'll do that now.
Yep.
And a D4 on all of that damage. Lovely.
Yeah, and then we'll have the D4.
The bite unfortunately misses with a disadvantage on a 13. But go ahead and roll me 2 extra D4 for the extra damage, because you're a big dude. Look at that.
Nice.
This thing, you were
Paid off right there.
Not
Paid
happy
off.
with it.
Real good.
As you,
I actually can use Bardic Inspiration on that 13.
you absolutely can. Yep. I shouldn't have announced that. Well, you knew that missed, so you would have used it anyway. So yeah, go ahead and do it, man.
Oh. Okay.
As long as you roll
Let's
a 2 or better, you got it.
Let's go.
That's why she gave it to you.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hey!
Nice. So
Called
an extra
it, called
19 points, and then roll me another D4.
I'll take it.
And then another minus 2. Wow. That's like 50%, over 50% of its hit points. Tell me how you go ham on this thing that just lightning shackled you.
Well, it's a classic strategy. You just claw to hold it in place, and then you just sink into it with those massive teeth. I guess the Fulminar manages to slip out with some of its amorphous form to keep from being just straight bitten in half. But at this point, I imagine it's bleeding lightning and smoke across the deck.
Oh, actually, I need to see if he's grappled now, because he has a dex to not be grappled by your bite.
No, he's bigger than a medium. He doesn't have.
Oh, you're right. Okay, cool. Never mind then. Sweet. So, yeah, great turn, dude. So yeah, Spinosaurus going in ham. You've just got like sort of this battle of beast versus elemental creature happening there in the middle of the deck. Yeah.
Can I just ask a question real quick?
Certainly.
That the bite grapple, that's based on his prior size. Would it work one size up? Because he's one size
Oh,
up?
I'll give you that. So, and dude, he totally failed his deck save. So he failed it either way. Even with advantage, he would have failed it. No, I'll give you that. I absolutely would agree with that. Good
Great,
call.
good call, Saul. And that reminds me, I got to roll the deck save to break out of the lightning.
Yep, you sure do. And that is at disadvantage.
Right.
So I'm going to use the fist that he has grappled. One more. On a 14, unfortunately, you still are grappled. You're just this locked in its jaws, locked in its shackles. This is like primordial dinosaur island bullshit going on. I love it.
This is
really.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Anzu is up, and it is it restrained or grappled under a net?
Under a net is grappled.
Okay.
Also for gust of wind.
Oh, right.
And it
I got to
please
roll
make-
its thing.
Yeah, and if it's not already, do it at a disadvantage because of Eldritch Strike.
Nice. So, disadvantage in its dex or strength? Strength?
Strength.
Okay, disadvantage on that strength. That is
And
a.
is this a saving throw or a ability check on this one?
It's the same for him.
I just meant like what action was this like classified as?
For the Anzu, it's just the beginning of his turn he has to do to see whether he's blown away.
Cool. I'm only asking because of the synaptic static.
It's a saving throw.
Oh,
Gotcha.
wait.
This is a saving throw.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it.
And so, yeah. It's a -4?
No.
Or just disadvantage? He's got ultra super disadvantage? Or synaptic? I thought synaptic was a subtraction.
Minus
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's for ability checks, not for saving throws.
Yep, does not apply here.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Sorry. Anyway, so what is the save for it?
14.
14. Just save, so he's able to like stay there, but can't make any headway at all. And he needs to roll to see whether or not he gets back his breath weapon from over there, because that's about the only thing he's going to be able to do from over there. D6 me, baby. Come on. Damn it. Well, I guess he's done. He's going to roll his get out of the net is dex, or is it another strength?
Get out of the net is strength. It is a straight strength check. So I
Straight
think
strength check. Okay.
Yeah, so I think synaptic static would
So
actually
this
work
would
on this.
affect that. So we're at disadvantage.
Just a minus d6.
And
It's
then
just
Oh
a
well,
minus D6.
it doesn't matter. It's an
Yeah.
8.
We're good.
failed.
Yeah, so
It is just stuck under the net. So no, this is great. Literally, it can't do anything to you, and y'all aren't doing damage to it. So, Kato, your plan is working. Speaking of which,
yeah, feels good. These units are getting a lot of use.
Baldir, you are
Yeah,
up.
so tell me more about the Aussie dock. Is the dock is still like plummeting?
He is falling. Yeah, I mean, as we get to the top of the round, he will start falling in normal fashion. So he will be 500 feet down by the end of his turn.
Okay, so that's like still technically within sort of a range.
Yeah, he's it's that whole thing. Everything's happening simultaneously. So he's beginning to drop, but at this point, he is still in range. He would be falling by the end of his turn, or the end of the round. He would be out of range of all but the longest range spells.
Cool. Awesome. So then Baldir will wander just slightly ahead, just for flavor's sake. I think it's probably worth him being able to like look kind of over the edge and see the dock begin to fall. And I think would have at least noticed the attention drawn to his staff, this former mast of his ship that brought him here.
Yeah.
It's singed and burned and everything. And just kind of like understanding that connection there, he is just going to point it towards in the direction of Dahaka and say, if you'd like, come and take it. And I'm just gonna send a Chaos Bolt his way, man.
It has advantage. If it's a rolled attack, it has advantage because he is stunned.
Just see what happens here. And I'll do it at a oh boy. Let's go with a third level Chaos Bolt.
Sweet.
So yeah, that is to hit. That was a 14 to hit.
You have advantage actually, yeah.
So swing one more time.
22. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. We'll see what kind of damage it is.
Sweet.
And then once I gotta roll the d8 and just kind of leave it up to fate here. It's a 2, so that is cold damage. Just
Sweet.
launching at him. So, yeah, 24 cold damage.
Minus 24 cold damage, and you just see his form, that sort of slimy outer coating, begin to crystallize and sort of almost like start to flake off of it and sort of slide off of his form, sort of falling in this weird sort of frozen ichor as it starts to drop off of him as he's falling as well. Sort of like one of those weird anti-gravity things where he's starting to have this field of corrupted ice falling along with him. Anything else you'd like to do? Sweet. The Azudaka is... I gotta look at her storm orang, because that's until her turn, I believe.
Please, Queen, go off.
Good news for us.
It's the end of the Bariana's next turn.
To the end of her next turn, so yeah.
Woo.
He's stunned and falling.
Oh.
And yeah, so he's falling, can't do a damn thing.
How far away is he at this point? Because
again, we're gonna say that he's dropped. We're not gonna chalk up the 500 feet down until the end of the round because that's not fair otherwise. He's actually last in the round though. Oh. We'll say do we want to say at the end of Biriana's turn? No, I'd say it's got to be the end of the round. So yeah, I'd say at this point he's fallen. He is because he's been. I forgot that she's at the top and he's at the bottom. So that
puts him out of range for pretty much everything.
I was gonna say, do we want to call it halfway? Let's call it halfway. He's 200. He's 200 feet down.
That's a long ways away.
Hey, some people have got like extended spells, and I was gonna say your gun can reach that far.
Axe.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because that's a little bit weird if it's not his turn, him getting to save. It's a little weird. Anyway, Duron, you're up, and then the lair action.
So I got one quick question. The hand moves with the Azidaka.
Oh yeah, that's part and parcel.
Up to the maximum range that I can have it at, which is 120 feet away. So we might not ever have to deal with this thing again.
Just because I want to see it happen. And because it's melee, if you want to punch it, if you're thinking you want to punch it as it's falling, so you've got an auto crit on it. He's stunned. That means melee attacks are an auto crit. I thought
that was paralyzed.
No, he's stunned. Stunned melee is. I'm pretty sure. Stand by. I don't want to be lying to you.
I have it open still from restrained, and it's actually just advantage.
Okay, just advantage, so it's not paralyzed. So yeah, it's not an auto.
I'm happy with just keeping him away.
Okay, that's cool.
What I'm thinking,
wait, it says incapacitated, actually. Oh, never mind, yeah. No,
yeah, release stunned is also the same.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Your DM just wants to have I want to see the big sexy man.
I've got other ideas though that might not make you very happy. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saunter over here and kind of like peek around the giant dinosaur in front of me, and I'm gonna send 2 Eldritch Blasts at the Fulminar. It's grappled, correct?
It is grappled.
Okay, just
yeah. So it's not advantage. It's just grappled, not restrained.
Wow, that's thank you, Allie, for these dice. By the way, that's 25 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Which is 8 points of damage, and that's another 10 feet, and then that's a 22 to hit.
I'm going to say since he's restrained, he doesn't get pushed, because otherwise we get in this whole thing of whether you shoot him out of Harlan's mouth.
Oh, I was gonna
Don't
knock
push
him
him.
off!
I'll let him go. I'll even help throw him if we want.
Dude, I'd say it's up to you.
Yeet.
Yeah, Harlan, if you want to let him go, you can let him go. I'm fine with that.
If momentum's coming from the side and we're
1, 2. So yeah. As he's starting to get knocked off. Okay, let's see if you hit again. Do you hit again?
Yeah, it was sorry, my mind just completely died. A 22 to hit on
Yep.
the second one.
How much damage?
Or another 8 points of damage.
So, as he gets knocked away, he is no longer grappled because you let him go.
I'm not the only one tossed
Well,
off the edge.
he's still grappling me though, right?
No, his shackles have range.
Oh, they've range. Okay.
Yeah, they have range. It's not a problem. And he had to get up here some way. He has a fly speed, so he's hovering.
Damn. All right. Well, that's
It's
fine.
okay though.
As a bonus action, I'm going to summon a second spectral dragon's head. So the one that's over on the far end of the ship disappears, and this one pops up right next to him, and I'm going to make another attack with that.
Okay.
That one's not so great, though. That's a 17.
On a 17, that still hits.
Okay. Cool. I need my d8s. So that's 8 points of cold damage, and his speed is reduced by an amount. I think it's 10 feet.
Does that slow his fall?
He's not falling.
He's
he
not
flies.
falling.
He has a fly speed.
Yeah.
He has a hover.
I figured he got up here somehow, so, but,
So I'm sorry. How much damage was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was, 8 points of damage.
Cool.
And his movement speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Gotcha. Cool.
Get off my ship!
Do run. If you need to get closer, we could absolutely trade places. I have no problem stepping back if you need to get a better view.
That's okay, I'm fine. And I'm just gonna walk back this way towards Ollie.
That brings us to the lair. What do y'all want to do?
I still think we're doing really good with this crew. Like this combo is really working for us.
Yeah.
Ollie's looking good. Lars is looking good. We've got good positioning for. I mean, both of them are doing really great with positioning. I don't think we can beat this.
Yeah.
Kill the Fulminar
Yeah, you
with,
we could.
with Lars?
If we
Yeah,
can get the Fulminar closer somehow, that's an extra. That's just an immediate 20 damage.
Or we could just shoot it with the ballista.
That's also fair.
Yeah. I say
Ooh,
we.
I think the ballista has range on the Azidaka.
Well, the Azidaka is just
think.
like still falling, right? So it's actually kind of out of sight.
180 feet. So it has 800. It'd be a disadvantage, but he could be a disadvantage, but he also gets plus 10. He gets plus 10 to it.
I mean,
and he actually, let me see. I think, God, did I get
also
him? He also
if
has. He has. No, you don't want to do sharpshooter. Never mind.
No. If I remember right, though, wasn't our goal to knock out the Azidaka? Maybe these other ones will leave us alone.
We're not sure on that theory though.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could give it a shot, literally, with Lars.
It's a disadvantage, or again, he would have a normal attack against the Fulmar.
Yeah. Here's the thing: if they're like being controlled, and we like free them, who's to say they're not just gonna get mad because we've been beating the muck out of them anyway?
You got a point.
know?
Y'all have been hitting him pretty hard.
Yeah, keeping it on the real, Otrek would say. Otrek's got a grudge. Shoot the Anzu.
You are gonna get that shot at advantage because it is restrained. So
And with Lars in the +10,
might as well sharpshooter at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should sharpshooter them.
So you want to
Yeah,
do
I agree with the sharpshooter.
sharpshooter the Anzu?
I've got a grudge. It tried to knock. It successfully knocked me off the ship. I was sky sausage. I'm not about that life.
That's true. And you know that if he gets his breath attack back, he could knock a whole bunch of you back off.
Or ruin the rigging with that fire.
Or ruin the
burst.
rigging.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's not do that.
I think we should sharpshooter the Anzu.
Okay, so we have advantage on the Anzu with a broadside -5. And if I remember correctly, he is a bucket of... He's got a 16 armor class. So let's see how it goes.
Yikes.
On a 10, unfortunately, Lars just didn't come through with you. Man, that stinks. He rolled a natural 1 and a 5.
I'm just gonna vent like pure hissing anger at Lars.
Yeah. What are you doing, Lars? Hey, Lars has got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
He's
That
got
is one shining moment. It's like real peaked in high school energy.
Yeah, he definitely. Well, dude,
Wow.
if you look at his token, he's got the big sexy. He totally peaked in high school. So what do you want to do for your other one? You've got a Ollie out here, or you can swap Ollie out for someone else.
So I'm actually kind of disappointed we don't have a Fitz on our roster. I really think he could probably come pretty clutch for
No.
us.
Absolutely not.
No.
Sorry, Doctor, did you
Vetoed.
call, sir?
Vetoed.
Did you
Vetoed
call,
on all
sir?
levels. All levels vetoed.
Hey, Squall, my tentacles have range. Can I say that we move this right here so it's actually in range of Lars? I brain farted on that. I just want to move it 1 square back.
Sure.
Thanks.
Cool. What, are you going to kill Lars? So, want to keep
No, I'm
Ollie
gonna
out? What do you want
protect
to do?
Lars.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you want to do with Ollie? Do you want to have him just hang out there? Be extremely lickable?
Lick Baldir?
Yeah, I would say Baldir probably
Yeah, we've
needs it.
got 2 left after that. We might as well.
Okay.
Baldir, how you doing on health there, buddy?
I'm at like 34.
Oh yeah, you should
Oh
get
yeah,
the lick.
definitely.
Okay.
100%.
So that's a 2d8 lick coming towards Baldir. 2d8 plus 1 if I recall. Yeah, there it is. 2d8 plus 1. Doink. Wow, nice. So
What a
that's
good
11
boy.
points.
Nice.
What a good boy as Ollie
Really
comes
good.
over and gives you all the licks. Ah, where'd he go? He snuck underneath him. Scoot. It's good. Okay, speaking of Kato, you're up.
Kato should have everybody within range, except for Queta, unfortunately. I apologize, but your health's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, Quaita's
So-
fine.
Yeah, Kato is going to cast a Mass Cure Wounds.
Cool.
We're gonna throw this guy up.
What's it got, like 60 feet, so it's everybody?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
That's gonna be a 21. So Viriana, Baldir, Ollie, Water Sausage, Lars, and Duron.
Got it.
Oh
I
wait,
would
no,
be-
sorry, no, not Duron. Spinosaurus, the giant token in front of me. My
Oh,
apologies.
I see how it is.
I would be insulted by being called a water sausage if I weren't just receiving 21 HP.
I'm sorry, was
No,
Be-
you're not a sky sausage, you're the water sausage.
did-
Duron's looking really hard at this tether that you're connected to now.
Okay, can I swap out Ollie for Duron?
Doesn't matter to me.
Because I can only do 6.
Okay, was Biriana in it or not?
Yes, Biriana was in it.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna say I am fine. I've got 60 hit points. I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
how
this
much-
is this is your bed. Now you lie in it.
there
How
you
much
go.
HP do you have?
93.
Okay, you and me are the same, rocking the fortitude, yeah.
Sweet.
And on my for my bonus action, because I wrote down my bonus actions, I'm gonna go for a where'd it go? So many spells. I'm gonna go for a mass healing word.
Oh wow! You can't do a mass cure wounds and a mass healing word.
Oh, you can't do
Yeah,
it
it
both
has
of
to be.
both.
Yeah.
It has to be. You can only do if you cast another spell. It has to just be a
Just a standard spell.
not an invocation.
Oh, okay, sorry.
What's it called? Cantrip. Sorry.
Noted. All right. In that case, I am probably done for this turn.
Sweet.
Kato is going to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm done.
Sweet. What do I want to do with Biriana? What has she got? She is going to. She's going to hold a spell in case the Azudakra breaks out at the end of her turn. Can I do that? No, because I can't use. She's got long range. She actually has sorcery points, and I was going to use long range spell, but she can't do that if she holds it. She's just going to go and give. She's going to move away from the side here, and just sort of go along the rigging here. She's not going to bunch up because she's going to sort of stand over here, and going to give inspiration to. She's going to give inspiration to her buddy Lars, because Lord knows he needs it. Lars, what are you doing? I bring you on board so that you can shoot my ballistas and you miss? There'll be none of that. And so she is going to give him a... There'll be none of that. None of that, I say. And that's Biriana. And at the end of Biriana's turn, big boy needs to make his save against her boomerang. What was it, 17? Something like that?
It just ends.
No, it's for a minute unless he saves. 17, yeah, becoming stunned for 1 minute.
That's gross.
That is...
Oh no, or become stunned to the end of your next turn. Sorry, the other
I
one
was
is
gonna
the 1
say.
minute.
I was
The
like-
shackles. Sorry, it's the shackles that are the 1 minute, are restrained for 1 minute. Sorry, too many critters. So yeah, he breaks out and catches himself and looks up and just lets out a huge screech up at the folks above him. And sausage time. What time is it? It's sausage time.
What you got?
Otrek.
Ominous silence is
It's you.
ominous.
It's sausage
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
Yep.
I thought you were attacking me. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, no,
what do we
no.
got?
It's
Cool.
your turn. Sausage time.
All right, we're gonna move to here. The Ozzy Daka, that's still in the air, correct?
In the air, but he's 500 feet, or whatever, 250 feet down is what we said.
Oh well, shit. The Anzu, where's that? I thought that one was the one that's falling.
The Anzu is still in the air. He's able to fly. He just can't move. He is restrained in place on your level. The Azudakra is about
Cool.
250 feet below you. The Fulmar is on your level, floating out there as well. Sort
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna
floating.
move to here. We're gonna do 2 shots at the Anzu. Let me get back to that page. Shot 1,
Don't forget you have advantage.
shot 2.
19 hits with 15 points of damage. And
That clutch advantage.
clutch advantage. Another 15 points of damage. Nice. As these
All
two
right.
bullets crack out across and down and go ripping through this bird as it screeches up at you.
Did you roll max damage twice in a row?
Yep.
Holy!
It's sausage time, baby.
Dude.
It is sausage time. Get
I guess
spicy.
so.
Enjoy that fennel.
Get spicy.
We are also going to trigger Arcane Jolt, and
Nice.
that is going to target the rigging in front of me.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, we are going to have Scott repair that rigging,
Okay.
and then Scott is going to stay right where they are.
Is the jolt the repairs at? So it's 10 points.
It is.
Nice.
And then let me roll Scott's repair. Let me bring him up real quick.
Oh wait, so the 10 isn't the repair?
The 10 is from Arcane Jolt, which is a artificer feature I can do whenever I make an attack that is successful with a magic weapon. Energy channels to either a person to heal them or an item to heal them.
That works. So yeah, rigging. Whoop.
Yeah, you gave me a lot of flexibility here.
Hey,
and
dude,
I am
I'm all for
about
it.
that life. I'm about that life.
I'm kind of glad that the ship's not going to fall out of the sky. That kind of is
I'm
campaign
excited
ending.
about that as
I'm
well.
excited about you all that.
Surprisingly, that's kind of cool. Let me get to
So
repair.
as these two shots fire down into the bird, you sort of see trailing up from along their path these sort of lightning bolts as it pulls some of the energy out of this Anzu, and it sort of wraps around the rigging, and you see the rigging begin to magically sort of like stitch itself together. And with a little bit of extra help from Scott, boy, y'all are back up to like 70%. That's I'm almost can turn it
yes.
green. 75, it turns green, man.
Nice.
Seas get shipped degrees.
Wow.
Nice. Anything else you got going on there?
That is my bonus action, my action. We are holding my reaction and Scott's reaction for later, because Scott can, as a reaction, impose disadvantage on anyone attacking adjacent to him.
Cool.
And I've got a couple things I can do. I do have to take a quick.
I was going to say, I was about to ask everyone if we want. It's 9:30. Do we want to take our break real quick, and we'll come back and pick up with Queta. So we will see you all in about 5 minutes, folks. Thanks for tuning in to all the fun and excitement. Woohoo! Hey, everybody, and we're back. I can't take my cast anywhere.
No.
The cast is one
A little
person.
bit. Ah.
At least 2 people.
So as we come back
Don't believe this.
from the green room, it is Quayla's turn.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, I don't think I can quite do any super big damage, but I can bully. So, Queda is going to step up and kind of say, Bariana would probably be feeling like the wind blowing behind her because gust of wind is still up. She would say, Captain, please take a step back. Just kind of asking her to stand aside, and she is going to use her action to cast Mind Sliver.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
that is going to
Is that a save or a
That is
DC
a-
14?
that is an intelligence save.
Oh. On a 2. You'll notice he rolled a natural 20 and was an 18.
Oh,
So, yeah, on a 2, mine's slivered.
cool. Okay, and then as her bonus action, she is going to use, I believe it's called War Magic that lets her shoot her crossbow, but I'm going to shoot.
Yep, that's cool. As a bonus action. Sweet.
Yes, and it will be advantage because you got a net on you.
Yep.
That's a
Ooh,
natural
on
20.
a natural
so-
20. Nice.
Where's the damage?
Just click
What do I
on
do?
crossbow light and do the thing.
Okay, what is this? It's like, what, 2d8?
So if you can just click, you just click in the chat on crossbow light and it'll roll the damage for you automatically with the advantage. There you go. So it
What?
does 15 points
Wow.
Yeah.
of crossbow. Wow, that's a good hit for a crossbow.
A hell of a crossbow. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this
Y'all were complaining about my pistol. Come on.
you see underneath the net, this bird is starting to have trouble keep itself. Sort of struggling to try to keep itself in position and not begin to fall. As that is the end of its turn. I'm sorry, Maya, do you have anything you'd like to do?
Queta will actually, after doing that, Queta will actually take 2 steps back, maybe 3 steps back. Let me measure real quick. 3 steps back is fine.
Cool.
And she will end her turn.
Sweet.
Still, again, asking Variana to shuffle along. She's got it.
So, as your turn ends, the Azudakra is going to use 2 of its legendary actions in order to call lightning down upon itself.
Oh no.
You all look over as you see this huge bolt of lightning go streaking down out of the sky and slam into the Azudakra for... Let's see how much lightning it does. For 3...
Counterable in range or no? Sorry. I was thinking
No,
around
he's 250 feet below you.
here. So question,
Yeah.
and because I have no idea, I'm not high level player, and I'm not a sorcerer player. Would having sorcery points to extend ranges help at all with this, or is that not?
I think it only doubles the range, so I'd take it to 120, and he's 250 feet down.
Okay.
I also, since this is a legendary action, it's an ability.
That's why I wanted to.
Yeah,
check
it's
and
not
see.
cast the spell. It's that it does.
Gotcha.
It brings
All good.
down a lightning bolt. It's usually it says it allows them to cast it, but this is literally. And I'm not sure.
All good, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so, doink. I'm not sure if anyone is close enough over the edge to see, but having seen things that had happened before, you can imagine what just occurred as its galvanic regeneration begins to take effect.
That's illegal.
Okay, I mean, that's like nothing, so who cares? So,
18 points. It's nothing.
Yep.
yeah.
And next up is the Fulmar. Oh, he's pissed. He is effing.
His speed is reduced by 10 feet. I just want to remind.
That's fine. That's great. 10 feet. As my good friend Meta just said, yeah, that's nothing. As he has a speed of 90 and you are 45 feet away and he has flyby, he's going to come down here to you. Doink.
Oh, hold on.
Let him. I want it. Bring
Hold
it.
on. Did he cross that literal path that you went?
He didn't have to, but I mean, the thing is, he has flyby, so he doesn't do opportunity attacks. He doesn't get any opportunity attacks by having fly because he has flyby. Doink.
I don't.
But this isn't an opportunity attack. It's
No.
entering the range of the spell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
If that's
entering
not
the range of the
attack.
Guardian.
Yeah, so I think that would still.
What's the
proc
range of the
targeting
Guardian?
safe, right?
10 feet.
20?
So if he's coming down here, I don't think he would pass the Spinosaurus. So I do think he'd go around. He has to go around this mast. So.
So anywhere within 10 feet of there. If he's going around the mast,
Yeah.
then
So I'm sort of thinking.
I guess it just depends on the path.
Or is he like rounding the mast? Because
Because I think he was up here, and so I think he's coming down by the rigging and then swinging around the mast. I'd say he goes by you, but I don't think he's going to get within 10 feet of the of your angelic guardian.
Yeah, so it's like it's singing in the rain. They're like swinging around on the light post.
Yeah, certainly if he got within range of you, you would. I mean, if it didn't have flyby, I would give you an opportunity attack. But I don't think with the bird and Lars in inner space between y'all.
Okay.
I think I'm going to rule that. Because it's 10 feet from him. Yeah, no, I don't think that would have come into that space. I think coming around with the mast, he would have gone the other way. But anyway, yeah, he's going to... First, he's going to see whether or not he gets back his lightning shackles. Blink. Nope, he does not. But he is going to go ahead and do some attacks against our boy Duron. Cool.
Go for it.
So he's first going to do. He's going to make his 3 attacks. So 2 claws attack. First claw attack is a natural 20.
No, it's not, because I have the Cloak of Displacement, and so he has disadvantage on that first attack.
Okay.
Oh!
So it is a 26 though, which I think
That does still hit, so
no.
it destroys the effect for this round, but it saved a natural 20. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Awesome. Gotta love Cloak of
man.
Displacement. So it is going to do.
24. Holy!
Yep.
Oh,
Do 14 points of slashing plus another 10 points of lightning on his first claw attack. He's going to take his second claw attack, which is 11, which is going to miss.
Miss.
And then swing around and try to sink into you with its bite on a nat 1.
Nice.
Yeah. The
we like to see.
the displacement cloak threw it off on its later attacks because it thought it had you dead to rights, and it did not. So
Yeah, that cloak, like, it just, like, sheds off this watery copy of me, and he, like, slashes through it, still hits me, but, like, it's not a crit, at least.
Sweet. So yeah, that is the full Mars turn.
It's a 15 on the con save, so that is better than 12.
Yep. Cool. Next up is Allrat. Spinosaurus.
Do the lightning shackles last until I save against them?
Yes. So here, I'll pop it back up again. There you are.
Thank you. Oh, 1 minute. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, and at the end of your turn, you get to try again. But the problem is because you're restrained, it's a disadvantage.
Can you break restraint with strength checks?
I would have to look it up. If someone
it
wants
would
to
have
look that
be
up for me.
spelled out. It would have to be spelled out in the effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since this is magical, it's not a true restraint. It is
Yeah,
the
I
way
think
that
it's
you
just
break
dex.
out is the dex
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
hopeful
it
about
was-
that, and I looked over it just to double check. I'm like, I give him advantage. Oh, that doesn't help a damn bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's at the end of its turn, so...
yeah.
Oh, advantage with my strength. Yeah, that would have been great. But, anyways,
So your attacks
I
are
was gonna
disadvantage
have
again.
to step over Kato, which I was worried was gonna scare him. But as it stands, The Fulminar has come around the corner. So I'll just turn and attempt to recreate what I did last time. Claw, bite, and maybe finish it off this time.
Okay. I was going to say, this could, on a 15, just makes the armor class.
Nice.
13, so that's 20, or at 22 points of damage. And what's the bite?
The big one, come on.
Why couldn't he do this against Durod?
Oh my god!
What is that?
Excuse me?
Sorry. What?
What?
What the?
3d12, and he rolled 2 12s and a 10. Plus
What?
6.
Wait, is that
All
plus
right.
the D4? Is
I'm
that
adding
plus the
three
D4?
D4, don't worry.
Holy shit!
Okay, well, sure. 3 1s on the d4. Whatever.
Oh,
You did
man.
40
The-
points of damage with a single
The
attack.
dice give, the dice
The
take
dice
away.
Dude,
The
so-
dice take away this guy's life.
Yeah.
Right.
Revoked.
In the most biggest,
Oh.
sincerest, coolest way you can do it, tell me how you just devour this Fulmar.
Auron digs one set of claws into its upper shoulder, the other into the sort of amorphous bottom part that's causing it to hover, and just shovels as much of it into his gullet as he can. When he bites down and really mashes into it, there's some lightning spewing out. It probably was a spicy bite, to say the least, and he just sort of drops whatever's left.
Yeah, and so there's almost like this gust of wind as your jaws come down and just sort of shovel it into your mouth, and then these huge Tyrannosaur jaws close together on it, and just and between lightning and this gust of wind, and the biggest thing that you see, that this shackle that was sort of almost like a hook out of your mouth around your neck just disappears and shatters as the Fulmar is dead. Like, not just dead, really dead. Like, dead. Okay.
Not gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
No.
And
Uh,
I'm good where I am. I don't have any bonus actions in this form, so that's me.
Sweet. My boy's got to roll a d6. Come on, give it to me.
No!
Oh, yeah.
All right, but before you get too excited,
Okay.
can you please roll that strength save for gust of wind at disadvantage and also subtract 1d4 from it?
Okay. Strength save at disadvantage. That's a 16. And what's the minus d4 for? Oh, because of the
Mind sliver.
Mind sliver. Nice.
That might be enough, guys.
Damn.
Ah.
All right.
So he stays there. Okay. So I just got to read what it does. Okay. Wait. Okay. So, I got to do some measuring. Sorry.
It's okay. You're just gonna kill us all. It's fine.
Pretty much.
I mean, after the egregious stuff we've done on this combat, we
yes.
kind of earned it.
You kind of have.
I may be a terrible person outside of this game, but Kato is a cinnamon roll who does not deserve this.
Oh, I just wish that everybody wasn't grouped up.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that is slightly unfortunate.
you see, because this guy, he actually has multiple breath weapons, and as one of the rules I gave myself was he has to cycle through them before he can use a different one again. So you watch as this bird, underneath of this net, you see flashing through the net. It's like there's a storm building, and suddenly the net that was sort of in the outline of it just disappears and begins to fall as it teleports, and you see a bolt of lightning shoot up into the air, arc over, and then rematerialize right there. I need...
That's got to be a 10-foot range, right?
Yep, I need
Yep.
Biriana, Queda, Duran,
Kato, I want my amulet back.
Scut, Baldir, and Otrek, all to make me dexterity.
I need it.
throws.
I need a minute. I gotta look.
I've
at
been
some
blessed
things.
the whole time and completely forgot about it.
Oh shit! I'm blessed too.
Yeah, you want to remember those, folks. You got to keep up with it. I can't.
Oh.
I'm afraid I can't hear you past the giant dinosaur, Duran.
It's okay. I rolled a 2.
Well,
Who
I'm
else?
gonna-
Who all? Is Baldir rolling?
Baldir is rolling.
19.
Yeah, here, I'll go ahead and put it up there so you all
Is
can
a
see.
round off, back handspring.
I'm just gonna go ahead and use
sorry.
Indomitable on this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll again.
Bariana, go ahead and get a
Well-
+4 from Flash of Genius.
Okay.
Oh.
Biriana is making her dexterity saving throw right now. It's a 16. So what did they get? A automatic D4 or +4?
Flat 4.
Okay, so 17. Biriana makes it. Who else did I say? Otto, our good friend Otto, needs to make one as well. Ollie, Otto.
Ah. Deck. That's no good.
Ollie does not make it. So who is under a 16? Anyone under 16, y'all did not make it.
I did not roll well.
I even used my Indomitable, and I did not roll well.
And there you go. So let's do 46. It's only 46, you know.
Please no.
I will still be alive.
That
Oh
is-
my god!
17 points of lightning damage to, or it will be 8 to the folks who did save. And I think the only person who saved was Biriana.
Baldir
Okay,
saved.
that hurt.
And Baldir
Oh,
saved.
Baldir.
Yep. Did
And he's also resistant. So.
And Scut. Did Scut save?
Scott did not.
Okay, so if you'll go ahead and subtract off the full 17 for all of
I
them.
am working on that.
You also see the lightning rolls up the rigging as it takes the full damage. Only the one set, not both sets. Ooh, 10. No,
That's the
it's,
set that's been that's the set that's been getting beefed up though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is the set that's been getting beefed up. But that is its turn, as it that's all it can do, as it relocates itself and puts itself right there in the middle of y'all. I said Ollie did not make it, right?
Correct.
Yep. Cool. That is the Anzu's turn.
Okay.
And he's no longer restrained because the net fell away. Doo-doo-doo. But he is still mind spiked. Or unless, is there a save for mind spike like at the end of his turn or something?
I think it's just it
Oh,
lasts
It's
for
just
one
the
turn.
next roll, so you.
Gotcha. Okay, so he has no mind spike and no restraint as he's just furiously sort of emerges in this bolt of lightning there in the middle of the deck and just screeches and spins around at all of you as you all get hit by this this bolt of lightning. Baldir, you are up.
Yeah, can Baldir kind of like fit through Otrek and Ollie's space just to move?
Yeah, because Ollie can fly, so I'm fine that he's sort of hovering and you can sort of sneak under.
Excuse me. He will duck beneath Ollie and walk up to the Anzu, and having only taken 4 damage on that, be like, fellow storm traveler, very impressive. Witness this, and he is just going to take his cracked ship mast of a staff and attempt to just smash this sucker with it. So, just a basic melee attack with the staff right now.
Okay, yeah.
And that is completely wrong. Sorry.
No worries.
Try this instead. Oh, it's the same thing. All right. Sorry about that. Instead, I will just roll this. That is.
Yeah, I think it's a +2 staff. Yeah, it's like a +2 quarter staff. So.
Oh,
Dirty 20. That's gonna hit.
All right, so he'll crack with that, and do. Let's see how much damage just to begin here. Oh man!
You can click on
I
the.
have to roll on. Do I have to roll on this?
You can
I
click
mean,
on the. You can click on those red squares to do it. If you want, if it's those.
I was looking just for the damage to begin with, but
The damage is a 1d8 plus your modifier, either strength or dex, whichever
gotcha.
you're using.
Here we go. So we'll start with this. Smash him with this. That's a +4 instead. It's a 12 damage. Sorry, I mistyped. So 12 damage. Just
Well,
by
it's
cracking
+4,
him.
but it's a +2 staff, so it'd be 8 + 6, which is
Okay.
14 points.
Cool. Anyways, cracked him with the staff. And then he will, at that point, channel the Staff of Thunder and Lightning
Yeah.
to cast Thunder. So I need a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, okay. That was just the next thing for Mind Spike, and he's. That is a 15.
So, as this thunderous roar smashes out as soon as the staff makes contact, I mean, you tell me, how exactly does the Anzu become stunned here? As I hope he collapses. And
Collapses to the deck. Yeah. Does he take? It looks like he takes damage too. 2d6.
No, I'm just channeling the. Let's see. When you hit a melee attack, I'm gonna crack a thunder. Target you hit must succeed at DC 17 or become stunned. So no damage, but he does become stunned.
Wait.
I'm
Wait.
looking
Did he
at-
succeed or did he fail?
He failed.
Yeah. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 thunder damage and becomes.
So then the roll 20 is different than what I'm looking at on D&D Beyond.
Okay, then
on
never
the staff.
mind. Great. So yeah, we'll go with what's on D&D Beyond. So he's just stunned. So yeah, stunned is great. So yeah, he falls on the deck, completely motionless, stunned, like frozen. Sweet. Anything else you want to do?
That's the
Haven't you
entirety
done
of my turn.
enough?
Yeah, that's the entirety of my turn, I think.
It's
So I'm
still
good to go
breathing.
again.
Great turn.
Great turn. The Azadakra is going to double dash its way up to 120 feet, where the hand awaits it, where it can't get by, and just screeches in anger as it is roaring its way back up towards these items that it was so attracted to. Duran.
So since our dino buddy is so tall, can I like walk underneath him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I'm gonna walk up to the edge of this guy right here, and I'm just gonna throw 2 Eldritch Blast over the edge.
Cool.
Oh, well that's not great. But I have a really high to hit, so that's sorry, math. 23.
23 hits, yeah.
And that's, well, I don't know where my d10s went. Oh, that's crap. That's 6 damage, 10 feet back.
So yeah, so he goes back down another 10 feet, because at this point you're just shooting down.
Yep, 7 plus 18 to hit.
On him, I think it still hits because he's just a big old sack of. What was it? Yeah, he hits. That hits.
18?
Yep.
Awesome. Oh, well, that's another 6. No, I'm sorry. That's a 13 damage. I can't read that dice very
Okay.
well. And then, you know, for funsies, we're gonna have the fist punch him in the face. Oh.
Okay, so it's gonna punch him in the face, and so he's no longer interceding.
No longer intervened.
Gotcha.
That's a 17 plus
17 hits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
17
2,
plus
19.
hits, yeah.
All right, that's 4d. I gotta look that up real quick. Big B's 48. Yep. 1, 3, 5. That's 8, 9. One more. A 6. That's 15 points of force damage.
As you're looking down over it and it hits into there, you see as this melee attack, the first one that you all have done against it, slams into it, you see it sort of, some of its wounds break open, and you see this swarm of insects and vermin basically come swarming out of it and start to cover your hand, the hand, the Bixby's hand down there, because it is at this point it's corporeal enough to hit him, so I'm saying it gets its hit back, and so it is 2d8. Sorry, I got a dog who is wanting some pets. So takes 9 points of piercing damage. It does not take any poison damage from them because it is a hand. It is a magical construct.
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right. Well, seeing that, I'm just gonna. Oh, I can't probably stand on top of it.
It's 120 feet down from you, man.
No, I'm talking about. I wanted to stand here, but we've got a big dino in our way. Yeah, I'm just gonna come stand over here.
Okay. Next up is the lair. What do y'all want to do?
Shoot!
Shall we just shoot the...
He's got advantage. Oh, not advantage. He's got inspiration.
Yeah, shoot the Azidaka.
Yeah, this is true.
Okay.
Sharpshooter it.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter.
Why not?
Do it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, sharpshootering the Azidaka. So this is without advantage. It's flat roll -5. And then he's got an advantage. Do the thing. 13.
Plus a D10.
Plus a D10. On a
Nice.
on a dirty 20, he absolutely hits. And your call, he as an arcane archer, after the hit, we can call whether or not he wants to use the bursting arrow. Does more damage, whereas the banishing just makes it disappear. Before I roll the damage, you all's call whether you want him to disappear or whether you want him to blow it up. It's 2d8 extra damage on top of the ballista damage.
If you
could
banish it and then all line up and kill it over the edge.
I'd say extra damage.
Yeah.
Well, remember,
we might
he's
as well
already...
go extra.
Oh, wait a second. No, but it's still... Wait, we forgot. He sharpshootered.
Yeah.
30-20, which is 15. His armor class is 15. He still hits with the sharpshooter. So he's going to get plus 10 damage already.
So it's 23. Yeah, just do more damage, I guess.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and... so that's 13 piercing damage, 23 piercing damage, plus another... the bursting arrow, another 2d6 of force damage, another 4, only 4, so 23 plus 4 is 27 points of damage to this. So close. Yeah, he's really hurt.
Good.
Just barely struggling to stay aloft up there. He is about 100 and let's see, he was 120, got pushed back twice, so he's at 140 feet away. And anything you want?
I would not have pushed him back further, I don't think.
Okay, so he's only 130 feet away. Did you push back at all, or
No, not at all.
So he's right at
because
120.
right
Okay.
at 120.
So he's sitting right at 120, and
if I had pushed him back any further, he would have been out of my range anyway. So
oh yeah, so there you go. So Kato, you're up.
Kato is going to reach into his robe and very shakily. Hold on, let me see if I can make it over there. If I go 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
Is that close enough to try and shoot
Yeah, I'll allow it.
the boyo?
Oh yeah,
He's
absolutely.
going to very shakily pull a pistol
I
out from
love
beneath
this.
his robes. And he's going to like hold it with both hands and very shakily shoot down.
I've got it. Let me check something really quick. Really
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Because
I have. It says here range of 150.
So, perfect. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Okay. You're within normal range.
Okay. Here we go.
That hits.
All right.
Kato, how do you want to do this? Woo!
There is no flare. There is no like boasting about it. You can actually see Kato looks very upset about having to do this. But he almost like looks down and you can see him kind of like look away for a second and then pull the trigger and it shoots down and just goes like right through the chest.
Yeah, you just hear the single shot fire out, and the Azradakra, this demonic creature, just begins to plummet and fall 1,500 feet down to the mountains below. A lot of things occur as that happens. The biggest one is you see the. I'm gonna go ahead and take this moment. Now that the Azadakru is dead, you see a sort of softened look come into Ollie's eyes, and goes over and licks the Anzu, and you see what was once sort of this blackened energy that was flowing through its lightning become clear and bright white, like normal lightning, as it is cured. Now that the Azudakra is not reinforcing it every round, it is able to recover and seems to be much more placid than it was before. And with that, combat comes to an end. Congratulations, you guys! Woo! There's like sort of a calm. You have this giant Anzu on deck. You have the corpse of one of the worms. The Fulmer is being digested, or what's left of it. It's sort of dissipated more than necessarily was a bloody mess. And the Azudakra, you sort of watch, you can sort of see it sort of spinning as it plummets down to the ground below. But you are still over top of this sort of incredible... sorry, my music just changed for me. I wanted to keep you on flying music. I need to take that off. Over this sort of incredible valley, but no longer sort of infested with all of these creatures that it was before, as they have been cleared out. But these clouds and lightning storm down below sort of still rages down below you. What would y'all like to do?
I transform back.
With a little bit of a stomach ache, but we're doing good. It was spicy. It was a spicy kitty.
Yeah, just a bit.
While no one else is looking, Queta quickly stops her gust of wind spell, and without even dropping a beat, kind of slips over to the rigging to just start working on that.
Yep. Yeah, and certainly you can start casting mending on it to start working on it if you'd like, or just working on it manually. Either way. Let's just go around real quick as sort of Biriana looks to Kato, goes, I had your back if you wouldn't have had it on your own. Nice shooting, Dex.
Is this like a ship thing? Do I have to go by that name now?
We'll see if it sticks. I can tell Fitz to start calling you that, and then I'm sure it will stick.
I think we're fine. I'm just glad everything's all right.
Bjarne goes, I'm going to go below deck to make sure everyone down there is okay that got out of the fray. And you, with her bardic healing, you know she's going down to sort of get the crew back in. She sort of looks at Lar and Lars gives him a pat, but then also just sort of shakes her head. So, Grant.
Yes.
Halloran, what's Halloran up to
Halloran-
now that he's back to normal?
Is the Anzu still here?
The Anzu's still there. This huge creature just sort of laying on the deck. Like I said, seems to be very placid. Also, it's very wounded. And for even a creature that's as wounded as you're surprised that it's not more. It seems to be all but docile, almost sort of resigned to its fate a little bit.
Well, I'd like to approach it. I'll cast Cure Wounds on it. Do you want me to roll for that at this point?
No, you don't need to roll for it, but just mark off the spell slot. You do see it, it's heal. It starts to mend a little bit, and it sort of looks at you, with a thankfulness in its eyes. Not a brilliant creature by any means, but it knows when someone's trying to help.
That's good. Then I don't need to exchange any words with it. That's fine.
Okay. It is a monstrosity. It is out of your challenge range, though, even for your blood magic. Just letting you know.
Thanks.
Yeah. Duron.
Oof. If I was doing fine up until the very end, and now Duron is wrecked. He's like leaning on the side of the railing. There's like smoke coming off of his body from that last bolt of lightning that struck him. He's probably bleeding profusely from the wound from the Falamar, whatever it's called. Yeah. And then the druid went over and healed the Anzu instead.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Feels
It's
bad.
fine.
Feels bad, dude.
I am going to take a nap. And he heads back towards his cabin.
Otrek, Baldir.
Yeah, Otrek is going to watch his comrades head below deck, worried about their body and their safety, but he knows that there are things that have to get done, otherwise none of it matters. He is definitely going to be working on the rigging, where Queda is taking one piece of the rigging. Otrek's definitely going to be on the other one, trying to repair it, checking the boards, the runes. Also, kind of more importantly and more to what he does, he's definitely going to be running over those force ballistae and making sure that they are not going to spontaneously explode into eruptions of fire and electricity. Yeah. As they do. As they do.
The one that Lars was using, and he'll blame it on that it was so damaged. But yeah, no, out of 60 hit points, it was down to 10. So, Baldir, over there on the side of the deck where you are, whether your eye, if your eyes follow this large three-headed dragon, you still see that storm raging. And as a storm sorcerer, there is that sort of connection to whatever is down below your staff, Biriana's Stormerang. There's still this sort of arcane storm that is occurring down below you, down in the canyon where this Azurdakra came from, and it had apparently sort of enlisted, lured, corrupted some of these other creatures into its service.
So, I mean, I don't want to go too above table, I guess, but is there something there's a force down there, there's something down there. Is it drawing the staff to it, or is it mostly just an acknowledgement that something is causing this storm?
I don't think there's a draw to it, but it is a very similar magic to that is infused your staff. It's just there's a similarity to it that of its arcane and stormy nature.
Sure. Then yeah, I think he would kind of just exclaim loud enough for. Well, I guess Brianna already went down, so yeah, he'll probably.
I mean, you can catch her before she goes down. That's
yeah, I think he'll probably just explain loudly enough. It's just there is something down there, something of great power, something. He kind of looks at his staff, looks to Brianna's Stormerang, kind of motions with his eyes. Something incredible. We are on a deadline. I have no means to say more about what it is down there, but I thought it worth mentioning. Because for him, really, any journey, any adventure is great. So it's mostly about making sure these smarter, better planners are aware of what's happening.
And you know how to play, Brianna. You've played this before, where she was on her sort of pleasure cruise, and pretty much at every stop, you pulled the Baldir. Not saying, I'm just saying.
Sure.
And she looks at you and sort of gives you a wink and goes, well then, I guess you'll need to figure out how to see what's down there. You have my blessing. We can... She looks at the ships, or looks at how narrow it is down there. We can certainly have Jin Sarat take us closer, so it's not quite such a fall. But when you're exploring, you're never truly in a hurry.
He nods at this, and I think turns his head towards Otrek, hard at work, and calls out to him and says, Otrek, friends, this is normally the part where I have a grand speech about confronting your fear, accepting it and embracing it and moving on and relishing the fact that you've challenged it. But instead I ask, would you like to go to the ground?
The ground is good.
To the ground!
Kato is overhearing all of this because he's up top and you just hear him groan. Just no. Oh no.
How's everyone else reacting?
Are they below the ship, or are they all like above deck?
I think the only person who said they went down was Duran, was sort of struggling down to take a nap. But, I mean, this conversation would be happening, and you could have heard it as it was happening. You can ignore it and continue to your cabin, or if you want to...
Oh, that doesn't sit well with me, with Duran too much, just because he's like... you probably, like, look over at Brianna and be like, we need to get back to sea. Soon.
Of course, dear. Soon. We'll be there soon.
Do you even know how far away the ocean is?
She licks her finger and actually looks at Hallran just to spite you instead of looking at you as a navigator. Looks at Hallran and it's like, Hallran, I'm sure you can tell us how far it is to the sea. Above board, probably about 4 days.
Elrond says, I'm sure Duran knows just as well as I do that we're 3 or 4 days away from the sea. Just one night exploring the ocean won't keep us away from the waters for too long, Duran.
I was going to say, it's about 7 in the morning, so...
Well, Halron might say night, just
yeah.
As that's the time of
right.
day he prefers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, perhaps this will help. I'll ask your views on Duran.
So, shall we have what's the vote? Should Genserat start to descend or stay on course? Seems like we've got at least two folks who are wanting to descend. I'm saying Duron sounds like he's a stay on course. So it comes to Grant, Kato, and Queta.
Oh man, Sam really wants to go down there. Kato does not. Kuma wants to see what is in there. But Kato would say no. Kato can be swayed. But Kato, for as of right now, unless Biriana comes over and starts to do that thing that she always does, Kato will be a no.
Oh, Biriana will be on it, but okay. But let's first hear from Queta and Halran.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was in there.
Oh no, you're there. No, you've said yours, but I'm not gonna Biriana break a tie unless there's a tie to be broken.
Right. Why don't you go first?
Okay, so let's just Queta, how about you? You're working on the rigging. Are you even paying attention? Do you care?
While everyone is busy talking, Queta would have used her weapon bond ability to grab her nets back.
Yeah.
And she would be stuffing them into her bag. And she would overhear the conversation. She's like forcibly like shoving the nets back into her bag. And I think as they mentioned the idea of going back towards sea, I feel like her hand might brush against the swan boat token, still like kind of ruffling around in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she would pause over it, kind of turn it in her fingers, like she would kind of feel like the features of the swan in her fingers. I think she would abstain from the vote, but she would be still like kind of thinking about it in her like little corner as she's like watching, as she's like looking over the rigging. She'd still be like the rigging. She'd be looking over that, and she would be like maybe clutching the swan boat a bit tighter in her hand as she did so.
So wanting to stay on course for sea.
She's actually just not going to say anything. She's not going to give her opinion at all.
Gotcha. Halran.
Deciding votes. Well, having told Duran that perhaps just a day exploring couldn't hurt too much, Halran will vote for going down with the guarantee that we don't spend too much time.
Okay.
Since he does want to stay on course, he's very curious about, well, the multitude of really interesting stuff that's going on, and he wants to be back up and flying at night to work on his star map for the area.
Okay. Biriana, sort of says, well, the eyes have it, it looks like, and goes over to Kato. Doesn't try to assuage Duran, because they're still a little... But she goes over to Kato, looks at this beautiful bird, and she goes, certainly, you want to see where such a magnificent creature makes their nest. I mean, I don't know, but perhaps eggs? There could be more young down below? I mean, it's a possibility, right? And just sort of needling Kato.
Halran will call over from where he's still tending to the bird and says, almost a certainty.
Well, for the sake of knowledge, perhaps it could be, perhaps I could entertain the idea of leaving the boat for a short time, as long as I had the crew, of course, to accompany and
We are
keep
not
me safe.
bringing your manservant.
I said nothing about Fitz, who is a cabin boy, not necessarily a manservant.
Oh, I'm
There's
sorry,
a difference.
is there a difference on the ship?
I don't know. Ask Biriana, who asked him to come.
Oh, he's a good boy. Let him have his fun.
Wait, we're not. Oh, wait, we're actually taking him?
Oh, I wasn't going to bring him down to whatever might lie below.
No,
Unless you want him to.
no. I do not. Oh,
I'm not sure if he's quite ready to be exploring unknown, uncharted territories yet.
I think he needs to be in a room by himself with no worry of anything to be knocked over.
Oh, the boy is capable of many a great thing. And it's the most insincere you've ever heard, Baldir, I think. Not insincere, but like, there's no further statements made. It's just
Is that the equivalent of the bless your heart?
Yes, exactly.
So, Biriana gives like one of those shrill whistles, I won't do it. And you sort of see Jin Surat look down a little bit, and you see some sort of communication happening between the two of them. And the ship sort of banks and then begins to descend and drop down into the canyon. It takes about 10 minutes as Jin Surat sort of does sort of tighter and tighter turns going down and lowering the ship down, almost hovering, getting lower. He can get not all the way down to the ground, but low enough that you could drop, a ladder off the side. You're gonna have to climb down a ladder, but get yourself so you could have a 10-foot drop from the bottom of the ladder down to there. Or if folks have spells or other things that they'd like to use, Biriana, knowing Kato, walks over and does a stroke on her violin and casts Fly on you from her violin using one of its charges.
Thank you. It was either that or I was going to have to ask Duran to carry me, and one of those choices is not favorable.
Yeah, I know you. This way, if you need to run back to the ship, you're welcome to.
For supplies.
Yes.
For supplies.
Captain, I am going to need at least an hour if we're going to explore this. Oddity. Before we take off.
She looks at you and goes, "Ugh, has it been that long since you've traveled with me?"
It is for the best interest of the group. Otherwise, I will not be able to be of much use.
One second. Let me just make sure I know what this does. She goes, "Do you not remember? All you need is a little catnap." And she casts catnap on you. And anyone else who can benefit from a short rest, she can cast this on up to 3 people, and you get the benefits of a short rest in 10 minutes as we descend.
I'll take it if no one else will.
I will also take it if anybody is cool with that.
Yeah, it's for folks who can. I was gonna say, Halron gets wild shapes back if he gets.
Halron, take mine.
Yeah, so Halron,
take mine.
Well, I have a lot of spell slots left. How are you on that?
Take. I can't get spell slots back on a long rest. All I was going to do is refresh a couple of my features that I've still got uses of, and burning through some hit dice. Please take the wild shapes. We need them. Do it.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. I did take a lot of damage too. I'm only at 30 some health.
Okay, so
I'm in my 30s too, so I need some help.
Gotcha. So Halron, Kato, and Duran, you all get the benefits of a short rest. Let me mark off that spell. Because Biriana tends to be a little impatient, don't you know? And so she will cast Bird, Soul, and Magic. She can cast it again. She can cast it twice and get the other 3 of y'all if you would like it.
Don't worry, I just Googled, is there a point to sorcerer short resting? And Google has told me no. So.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorcerers, poor guys.
I think Queta would like that. She would be like working, and if it were cast on her, she would probably
Tell you what,
still be trying to work on it.
it's
as
for
she
3
falls.
people regardless. She casts it twice. Everyone gets a short rest as you descend. And that way it lets me do a little bit of description. So, while you all are descending, because I said it was going to take about 30 minutes down, it only takes 10 minutes for your short rest. So, as this is happening, as you all are descending, you've taken your short rest, and while you're doing that, you get lower and lower, and there's sort of a big, larger storm. But once you sort of break through the cloud cover and get lower, you can sort of see this swirling vortex at the center of this storm. It's almost like a miniature hurricane, not miles across. I mean, it's literally probably only about 50, 60 feet across with an eye in the center that's about 30 feet. So, I'm sorry, 50, 60 feet in radius with a eye at the center of it that's about 30 feet, 40 feet across. And so as you're getting lower and lower, you can look down and you sort of see sort of the reflections of water and sort of a weird, sort of crazy, almost tree-like shape, but it's not a tree. It's just like this crazy, jumbled, almost like thorns, almost like a tumbleweed. It looks like sort of at the center of it, that all of these sort of lightning bolts seem to be emanating out into sort of the wall of the storm, and then germinating this storm that's around it. So there's sort of this sort of eye of the storm with this swirling wind around it. And Jin Surat can bring the ship down, so you're hovering right above it. Almost would look like the ship is sitting in water, and with one side of it with this ladder that can drop down into sort of this eye of the storm. Whenever y'all are ready, y'all can. And again, then she does her fly through her violin, and what do y'all want to do? Y'all, and I need a marching order for how you want to descend.
I wanted to ask something before we descended.
Okay.
Would Duron have clocked that there was some sort of strange communication, probably telepathic communication between Jin Surat
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Barry? Okay.
Yep. No, absolutely.
File that away for later.
Yep.
Marching order wise, I don't mind going first. I mean, Baldir being a storm sorcerer probably feels some connection here, and also has some defenses built in to a lot of the things that we've experienced. So I'm fine being towards the front of the pack.
Okay. So Baldir up at the front.
Kato's super fine being in the back.
Okay, Kato, and also you're flying down, so that you can sort of hover wherever you would like. So Baldir, Kato at the end.
I'm gonna be next to Kato and just kind of like say to him just very casually, the back is not always the safest place to be.
You're just evil, man.
So are you suggesting I just stick next to you the entire time? Thank you so much for suggesting and offering your services in such a manner.
I would like my amulet back, please.
Oh yes, that's right. And he'll unclip the amulet and hand it over.
Yeah, he just like takes it in his hand and like just absorbs into his the bit larger one that's still around his neck.
Cool.
I appreciate it, by the way.
How about other folks? Where do you want to be? I've got Baldir up front, Duran and Kato at the end. Where do y'all want to be in the middle?
Halron will join Baldir towards the front.
Okay.
You can always
I'll
turn into a
take-
dinosaur movie.
Yeah, I'll take a second from the back position, kind of a stopgap. I've got a lot of range, I got a lot of support, I've got a lot of meat, so I can jump behind Kato and absorb any hits that they need.
Okay.
That also puts me within range for like warding bond and other jazz.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So that puts Queta right there in the center as well. So
Yeah.
you all descend down in there, and as you get lower, you're able to see this better. You're sort of, there's not only this obscuring a little bit of the storm and also the flashes of light. Your eyes adjust down here in this stand up. Let's get a little different music. Doo-doo-doo.
Go spelunking.
Going spelunking.
Spelunking.
So, we'll just leave it here. So, as you go down here into this this stormy area, your eyes begin to adjust, and you see that at the very center of this, you're able to be up on the shore of it, about 20 feet across. There is like a spring, a sort of shallow spring at the center of it. And shallow spring at the center of the eye. In the center of the spring, sort of emerging from the water, there is this sort of large branching. It almost looks like a glass sculpture. But certainly Duran and Baldir would recognize this, but it's much larger and much more intricate than anyone you've ever seen. When lightning will strike a beach, it will fuse the sand into glass. And this is this huge, almost 15 foot tall, 10 feet across, where it looks like multiple lightning bolts had struck all in the same place, and as it forked around, just became this jumbled mass of forked lightning and glass. You're nowhere near the beach. You don't know how it could have gotten here, but it sits there at the center, and sort of arcing in between and inside the sculpture from the different sort of glass tubes, you can see lightning. And then in the tubes themselves, it's almost like one of those plasma generators, the old balls you would get at Spencer. And you can see that there's like this plasma energy that is flowing through the glass tubes and then out to the storm. It doesn't seem to be attracted to y'all directly, like as though it's being ground to you. It seems to be shooting off into the storm and down into the water. However, the water definitely looks like it's electrified.
Would Queta be able to actually look at this sculpture and see if it's like got like if it's made through magical lightning, or if it's just like a sort of like weird man-made structure?
Tell you what, anyone who's trained in Arcana, you all can take everybody, all of our magic users, you can do an Arcana check for me to sort of see if you can figure out if you are storm, storm-based. I'll give you advantage on it. So the folks who have sort of stormy backgrounds.
Does that include me? I don't know.
Fathoms, I'm gonna say you're more of a watery background.
Sounds fair.
So Baldir, Otrek, Queta, you, as you sort of investigate this,
I got 18, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So on an 18, I'll still, you sort of can look into this. It definitely is a natural. You're familiar with the natural phenomenon, but the lightning that seems to have created it seems to be would have been a magical or some otherworldly origin. I will say Baldir, Otrek, and Queta being above 20, you can see there seem to be objects, solid objects encased in the glass in about 3 or 4 places throughout the sculpture. There seem to be as though are encased inside of this sort of the actual glass tubes. They're sort of bulge, and there's things that are, because of the milkiness of the glass, you can't quite make them out, but sort of dark shadows within the glass structure itself.
Can I approach and get a better sense of what's through there, or is the glass just so like glossy and hazed over?
I mean, you would have to. I mean, it's 10 feet in diameter inside a 20-foot diameter thing, so you'd have to get closer and investigate. You probably would have to venture into the water. Because you're a storm sorcerer, it might not be as big a deal for you as it is for others.
Sure, makes sense.
So Duran's eyes are gonna like turn from that kind of like bluish purpley color and go like actually orange, and I'm gonna use Eldritch Sight to cast Detect Magic and see if there's anything magical around.
The objects inside the glass are absolutely magical and glow hotly to your Eldritch Sight. And don't ask me what stool.
I wasn't going
Yeah.
to. Whatever. Evocation. Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Cool. Yeah. I will let everyone know those are magical. If it wasn't already obvious.
Yeah. Are the pools of water like? Are they fairly deep? Are they walkable?
I mean, they seem like they're about 5 feet deep. I mean, so for some people, it would be up to their neck. For you, it's about up to it's up to your mid thigh.
Question: I'm more than willing to eat some damage with the electricity coursing through this. Is there any way using
I have
water
walk-
to help
I have water
some
walk.
folks?
I have
cool.
I have something I can do. I'm going to cast Control Water and just empty the pools
Nice.
of water.
So yeah, you can do that, and it pushes all this water away. And Duron, describe to me how Duron casts this. I was going to do the Moses, the old Ten Commandments Moses, but I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, how does Duron do this? He probably just kind of like, I think he would get really close to the edge of the water, and since Duron's got that kind of connection that's almost like electric on its own, he'll just barely put the edges of his fingertips into it, like his claws reaching down into it, and then you watch this wave just form in front of him, and it just billows out, like as if like some invisible force just pushed all the water out.
And it does. It just flows aside, and you can see sort of the lightning that's flowing off of this sort of follows the water but doesn't seem to be striking the ground. It's going out into the storm and into the water that now is sort of held at bay, sort of giving you this, like I say, about a 5-foot depression into basin that would go to sort of this central crystal. You can see that the bottom of this sort of crystalline structure was somewhat submerged, and there at the base of it is a much larger sort of disc of glass that has another shadowy object inside of it, but it's much larger. The other ones are, fist-sized, maybe a little bit larger. This down at the bottom is this disc at the bottom. It sort of is the base of it. Is probably about 3 to 5 feet across, and there's an object inside of it as well. So everyone, Bird, you said Baldir was going to approach even if eating damage. So I'm gonna say you're again at the front leading the way. So are able to walk over there, and you just sort of see this incredible electric sculpture of glass and silica and not refined. This just like the sort of brutality of natural forces coming together to form art. What would you like to do?
I mean, I don't want to touch it, but I'm a little bit. I think I'm smarter than that. I guess just being up closer, being more than just this thing being this like cool, beaten, natural thing that's been formed that's full of magic inside. Like, is there anything Baldir can ascertain from being closer to it? Like any specifics about what's happening? What exactly is the nature of this besides just random happenstance? Like, clearly there's something more going on here.
Yeah, do me an investigation check.
Gladly. Investigation.
And with your high arcana before, since you were above 20, I'll give you advantage on it.
All right. I'll roll that.
So on 11, you don't really discern a whole lot more for it. There's almost just sort of, you're almost overcome by the wonder of it. Queta, though, on your 25 from before, and since you were third in the pack, you do feel almost drawn a little bit to this. Don't know why, but there is some affinity, and especially now the water is gone and has been pushed away, there is some affinity towards yourself and this new area of the sculpture that has been revealed.
All right, so Queta is actually going to come a bit closer to it. Is her affinity toward the objects inside the sculpture, or is it toward the sculpture as a whole?
Truly, it's towards this large disc and the larger object at the bottom of it, not to all of them, just the object that has been revealed that was previously under the water.
All right.
And again, it's not a huge draw. Just there's a strange curiosity that almost belies the fact that you don't have much more information about it. There's something that you can't quite.
So she'll come around, look around the sculpture, see if there's a way that she can actually kind of wrap one of her ropes around it. So she'll reach into her bag, kind of try and like toss a rope over and around like part of the sculpture, and she's gonna look and ask the crew as a whole, I'm not sure what it is, but there's something here I feel like I need to see. And she'll kind of hold out the ends of the rope to the rest of the crew, as it is her intention to pull the statue over down so that they can like look at this while it's toppled.
Kato grabs the rope.
Okay, so first thing, do me a dexterity check of just like getting, anyone who's had to throw lights over the top of a Christmas tree, it's one of those things that's happening.
Okay, just a straight dexterity check?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
On an 18, yeah, you get the rope around it, no problem, high enough that you would have enough leverage. If you want to topple this, it is certainly within reason for you to be able to topple it if that is your intent.
This sounds silly, but and tell me if this is just outlandish to a point. Knowing that they're going to try to topple this, is there any way Baldir can refuse the rope and basically stand like staff up as high as possible in air and try to kind of just act as a lightning rod to make sure there's no errant like lightning strikes that like hit the team or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So yeah, he's gonna refuse that. He's gonna hold this magically infused storm staff as high as he can and basically just make himself as big as possible to attract as much of these random strikes as he can.
Okay. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, Quato will give an acknowledging nod and like a nod of thanks as she hands the rope to Kato, and if anyone else is grabbing on to help.
Halron will clap Baldir on the back at his pretty brave move here, and then take a rope.
Okay. I see. What's Duron up to? What? That brain is working. I see it.
Yep. I think Duon will hold off on taking the rope for right now, but I have other things in mind.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Okay. So the folks who are pulling, if the folks who are on the ropes, go ahead and give me strength checks to try to topple this over.
Sure.
Carry me, please.
18, a 5, a 13, and a 22. This
Nice.
it's a big structure on a small base. So you all start to pull it over, and it starts to topple, sort of falling over, and tips and hits the ground and just. And as it does, my music goes weird. Baldir, you take 24 points, which is all taken to you instead of being distributed among the team because you've been thinking. I will say, because you are taking all of it, you have resistance, yeah?
Yes. So bring it, bro.
I think that basically it's 24 because I would say I would have doubled it because you were being a lightning rod, but then it's halved again, so you land back at 24.
Sick. Yeah. You can
Freaking brilliant.
You see the ears like go like erect for a second before dropping down, and probably like a slightly weird burning smell. And Baldir stumbles for a sec before shaking it off. So we're good to go.
The smell of burnt elephant hair in the morning.
How bad off are you, bro?
After 24, I'm going to be down to 58 points out of my 82. So we're good to go.
I mean, yeah, but if you want. No, not if you want. We're actually going to go ahead and do that. Otrek's going to go over and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Wow. Absolute rubbish. I'm sorry.
You know what?
It is what it is.
We're up to 63. We're good to go.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I know. I appreciate it.
So, this shatters. There's this huge explosion of lightning, sort of plasma. But just like when you put your finger on one of those balls, it's like it all goes up, and there's like almost this dome of plasma lightning that erupts and sort of protects all of you as it flows down through Baldir's staff, and the rest of you are protected. And amongst all this shards, you see 3 sort of hunks of, at this point, all but white hot metal. They all look like they're different types of metals, how different metals glow at different temperatures. Their glow is a little bit different. And Queda, there in that sort of base part, you see what looks to be a belt, like a finely fashioned, wide sort of belt that has sort of where the buckle is, sort of looks like like the Spartan helmet. But instead of kind of like the Thor helmet where it's like the things, it's like lightning bolts that stick up from it as the buckle. Kato and Otrek, who have studied with the stone chalice, and anyone can do a religion check, or if anyone else has has proficiency in religion. It's going to be tougher for the folks who haven't necessarily studied and just have general.
I don't have proficiency in religion.
I was going to give it to you because you've been at the stone chalice, though.
Throw it, though.
Not proficiency, but religion. And same thing, Cato, because you've studied the stone chalice, and that is a place of learning.
So roll or no roll?
You roll for religion. Cool. 14s. Anyone else's? You don't know much about it, but this symbol sort of itches in the back of your mind. It doesn't come to you in the moment, but it's very similar to iconography. Thank you. Iconography of some of the other members of the Pantheon. It is not one you're familiar with, but it's very similar to some of the iconography that you see surrounding in this ring of light, this coming of the Pantheon. It is that type of feel to it.
I think Queda will. You're saying she's like unconsciously getting pulled to it, so I think without even realizing it, in the time it took you to explain that, she would have been already reaching and maybe have already put a finger on like the belt, and then she might just kind of like snap back to reality.
Yeah.
As like her hand like lays on it, and she kind of looks around toward everyone else, thinking, I don't know what this is, but she'll still like wrap her fingers around it and pick it up anyway. I really don't. But, and then she'll just, I guess, if nothing terrible happens, she'll just stuff it back in her
Yeah,
bag.
no, doesn't seem to be, it's well made. I mean, but there's not anything like when you touch it, there's nothing sort of weird reaction. For the sake of a little bit of brevity, I'm going to say, Otrek, you certainly recognize the 3 pieces of metal as some types of ore, and as Duran had pointed out, they definitely are magical. But if you want to collect some of those, and with that, you all are kind of standing in this. Duran still holding back this wall of water. The storm around you seems to be dissipating, and as it does, you can see around the area multiple other corpses of other creatures, all of which have these fanged puncture wounds and that have sort of started to corrupt from the Azudakra's demonic bite.
A good thing that we slew that beast then.
Yeah, Queta will give an affirmative nod and kind of shiver as she rises up from putting the belt away.
Anything else y'all would like to do down here on the ground, or
Are there any eggs?
do me an investigation check?
Oh, we find nothing.
Oh yeah, no on an 8. I think the disgust of seeing just how many creatures sort of fell prey to sort of whatever the hypnotic lure that this phenomenon was towards creatures who had affinity towards the storm and towards a storm, and then that this sort of demonically spawned dragon with its 3 heads basically just sort of enslaved them until they died, type idea.
Since Kato doesn't find anything, Kato is going to walk over to something that looks relatively harmless to touch. Maybe like a nice rock on the cave, like on a canyon wall, just something safe. And after pressing a claw to it, it's going to shine as he casts light.
Okay.
Even though you've met some terrible fates in this canyon, I do hope that there is a little light to be shed for your spirits to finally rest.
Yeah, I would say, there is sort of some of these broken branches of this sort of lightning sculpture, which now are just sort of inert, that you could cast light on. So it's sort of this, as the light goes on, it sort of refills those channels that did have the plasma in it now to be sort of this purifying light as you sort of walk around and sort of do last rites on dozens of these creatures as you walk among them.
Do they all have a place to naturally decay? I know it's a ballsy question.
Yeah, at this point, it's they are in various states of decay already.
Okay.
But if y'all, unless you have something else to do down here, we can head back to the ship, and then we'll probably go ahead and wrap up for the evening. As wow, this went by fast. It is it is 11 o'clock as you head back to the ship with some items that we can talk about or identify as we get into next week's session.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Over by a little bit, but hope you all enjoyed the end of our combat and this last little piece of treasure hunting. We'll go around real quick to find out who our players are and where you can find them on the internet. We will start off with Soul.
I am Souls Rolls everywhere on the internet. Twitter, I have a website, soulsrolls.com. I do a lot of talk about health and wellness and gaming. I'm also available if you need a little bit of help. Reach out to me. I will definitely work with you to get you where you want to be.
Awesome. Next up is Ace.
Yeah, I am Ace of Sween, probably anywhere you could possibly think to find me. And that's about it. I'm just a regular DM and player. I do want to give a quick shout out to JB2A. They are the ones who are behind my Big B's hand animation, and they do fantastic work. They have a module for the Foundry virtual tabletop. Go check them out on Patreon. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. Next up is Grant.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Grant. I mostly just do D&D stuff, DM a normal game. You can find me on Twitter at Sockelmon, which I'll just drop in the Twitch chat instead of trying to spell it out or anything like that. And thanks for watching. Yeah.
Awesome. Next up is Meta.
Hi, I'm Metazoa. I'm just gonna put a message in the chat. I play Queta. That's my ad on Twitch. Metazoa54321. It's the same on Twitter as well. It's the same on Instagram as well. Whenever I use it, I play music. I write poetry sometimes. I do a lot of different stuff. I also stream, but that'll happen more eventually because I just haven't felt like streaming. But I just do a lot of stuff, and if you want to see any of that, I put my name in there. You know where to find me, I guess.
Sweet. Next up is Bird.
Hey, I'm Bird. You can find me basically everywhere as Bird versus Plane. I claim to be a streamer. I will do it at some point again, I'm sure, when life calms down. But yeah, find me everywhere there.
And last but not least, Kuma.
Hey, I'm Kuma. You can find me anywhere and everywhere as Kuma the Bronze. I stream, I run games. I'm just kind of everywhere.
Great. And I'm Tall Squall. You can find me all over interwebs as Tall Squall. And we're going to keep on Tabletop Tuesdays. So keep tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the session and enjoyed our sort of fun new twists on combat. And until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that's what it's all about. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.